Today, the University of Texas plays in a bowl game for the first time in 4 years. A quarter century ago, Darrell Royal directed the Longhorns to the national title with their legendary wishbone. Now all the eyes of Texas are upon Coach John Mackovic as the Longhorns descend upon the Sun Bowl. They're young and aggressive and feature an explosive attack. And today they look to show the nation that Longhorn football is back. In the 90s, North Carolina has established its own football tradition to brag about. Mack Brown has 5 straight winning seasons and has put North Carolina into an open field of dreams. Now they can place a footprint on their future and tackle college football's next level, starting with a win today. It's the Heels and the Horns in a hoedown from Old El Paso, next on CBS. El Paso begins with a custom fitting at the boot factory. Then you strap them on and head over to the tailgate at the Sun Bowl. You tailgate there Rio Grande style. Sure, the beef and the brats are on the Barbie, but so too are the enchiladas and the tamales. Then you head inside to one of the coziest settings in college football. It's the Sun Bowl for the 61st time. Today, North Carolina against Texas. And welcome to West Texas, the friendly town of El Paso, just a few hundred yards from here, the border, and Juarez, Mexico, a few miles down the road, the state line of New Mexico. We're glad to have you with us for North Carolina and Texas. And welcome, everybody. I'm Jim Nance. We're proud to be presenting the Sun Bowl here on CBS for the 27th straight year. You know, we're celebrating an anniversary this year in college football. 10 years ago this season, one of the most magical moments in the history of the game. Boston College playing down in the Orange Bowl against Miami. Doug Flutie rolling out of the pocket. He flings it toward the end zone. And the ball is caught by Phelan as Boston College slays Miami. And Flutie's on his way to winning the Heisman Trophy. That was 10 years ago this season. And all of us at CBS are pleased to have Doug Flutie joining us as our CBS college football analyst today. Welcome to the broadcasting business, Doug.
It is great to be back around college football. This is tremendous. I've been up in Canada. It's been great to me. It's fun. But when you come back down and you're in a major college football, this is what it's all about.
There's nothing like it. Let's talk about a position you're familiar with. Quarterback. Been kind of controversial leading into this game. Who will start at quarterback for North Carolina? Who will start at quarterback for Texas? First, the Tar Heels. Jason Stanisic or Mike Thomas. They decide to go with Mike Thomas today.
They decided to go with Mike Thomas primarily because he can make the big play. They run the ball extremely well. What they're looking at of their quarterback, they're looking for big plays. He's only 47% completions, but he doesn't make mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over.
And for Texas, Shea Moran started 8 games this year. James Brown started 3 wins against Oklahoma, Houston, and Baylor. He threw 9 touchdowns the last 2 weeks of the season, and last night they gave him the starting nod. James Brown.
James Brown deserves it. 110 points in the last 2 ball games. This guy makes things happen. Almost 70% completions, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. His athletic ability is his biggest asset. Can throw the ball off balance, on the run, anything like that. So he makes big plays.
Doug, it's bowl time, and these 2 teams want this game, obviously, but for North Carolina, the importance of it.
North Carolina has been in the top 20 for the last 3 years. They've been to 3 straight bowl games. Mack Brown has told us this is important to his program because he wants to become a top 10 football team, and this is the opportunity to move up in the ratings.
And for John Mackovic in Texas?
They kind of downplayed it a little bit. I think it's very important to Texas, but John has said that they're in a position where it's the first bowl trip in 4 years. Only 6 guys have played on or even been to a bowl game, so he feels that this is more of a reward than anything else for the team.
It'll be interesting to see how those philosophies match up today. North Carolina has taken the field. Now Coach Mackovic and the Longhorns are ready. It's Texas and North Carolina from El Paso.
CBS Sports presents the 1994 Sun Bowl. Today's game is sponsored by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games, Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sports Sedan, and by Zima, the refreshing alcohol beverage.
I've been thinking about
Well, Well, the sun's been out most of this day. Now some clouds have rolled in, but it'll live up to its name. The Sun Bowl in El Paso. It's a beautiful day for football. 55 degrees. Forecast for sunny skies. A little wind down there, though.
There really was. I was down on the field beforehand, and it looks beautiful, but you step out there, the wind's blowing, it's gusting and swirling a little bit. It could mean the difference of maybe 5 yards in the kicking game either way.
North Carolina has won the toss and will receive. These teams meeting for the 7th time. They last met on Christmas Day in 1982 right here in El Paso, with Carolina prevailing 26-10. They scored 23 unanswered in the 4th quarter that day, and it was snowing by the end of that game. No such weather forecast for today, thank goodness. John McAfee leading Texas to a bowl game for the first time in his 3rd season. 6-5, 5-5-1, and this year 7-4 to grab a 5-way share of the Southwest Conference title. And Mack Brown, his first 2 seasons at North Carolina, the Tar Heels were 1-10. But he has built quite a foundation and a program since. 5 straight winning seasons, playing in a bowl now for the 3rd straight year.
Like we said, I was talking with Mac the other day. He said, you know, it's just not as much fun anymore because now we have to win 10 ball games or it's not a positive season. So he's shooting for the big ratings. He wants to be in the top 10.
North Carolina Tar Heels.
Bill Dawson puts it on the tee for Texas. And he has to look out for this man, Marcus Wall, 3rd in the nation in kickoff returns this year. He ran one back for a touchdown and averaged almost 28 yards per run back.
He's scary. Every time he touches the ball, it looks like he's going all the way. And he's the guy that is the heart and soul of this Tar Heel team.
So Texas to kick off into the win. We have Pac-10 officials today at the Sun Bowl. And this game underway for the 61st time. Short kick. And a fair catch was called by North Carolina. So forget about the run back by Wall. One of his teammates signaled for a fair catch. So they'll start out at the 22-yard line.
Dawson's kick at the 22-yard line. The Tar Heels will start.
He didn't signal, but one of the short backs, the up back, did signal. And then Marcus takes it on the run, and that could be a delay of game penalty.
Marcus was unaware that one of his Tar Heel teammates had called for it. He was ready to go off to the races.
Well, they were attempting a pooch kick, it looked like, but he got the ball a little deeper than he wanted to.
Here's Mike Thomas starting at quarterback for the Tar Heels. He started for North Carolina in the Peach Bowl 2 years ago and led them to victory. Leon Johnson is the tailback. And they'll run it right up the middle with Leon Johnson. And a good gain right between the tackles for about 6. Norman Watkins makes the hit for Texas. Mike Thomas, if you go back to his high school days in Hamlet, North Carolina, never lost in high school as a starter, has never lost at North Carolina as a starter. In the backfield, Leon Johnson, William Henderson. There'll be some alternating, though, in the backfield. Wall, Barnes, and DeLong, a good blocker tied in now for North Carolina. They face 2nd and 5, and they go with the fullback, Henderson, and maybe a yard is all. Watkins came up to make a hit, along with Thomas Baskin. So 3rd and short coming up for Texas. 2 quick tackles for Watkins.
At their own 28.
Right up the gut. We were told by the defensive line of Texas that you will not get the yardage up the middle between the tackles. Texas is trying to shut them down. The ball was loose on the ground, and the Tar Heels were fortunate to get back on top of it.
Boy, it came right back into the arms of Henderson. 3rd and 4 for North Carolina. Thomas play action, flings it over to Leon Johnson. He has the first down to the 35-yard line. Now for the rest of the lineup for North Carolina, the line, Thomas
6-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10.
gathers Don Meredith, Hobgood, and Ferguson. The Texas defense on the line, Brackens, a true freshman, Chris Akins, and Thomas Baskin. Reed Richardson, a freshman, King, and Norman Watkins. 1st and 10, North Carolina. Out of the eye, Leon Johnson. A gain of maybe 2. Baskin hit him first. And the secondary for Texas, Taji Allen, Chris Carter, Trey Thomas, and Joey Ellis.
Joey Ellis is seen as a leader of this team, and he's a big hitter. He's a guy that earlier in the year had a couple of concussions and had a little problem with that, but they are a solid secondary.
There's Joey Ellis, senior from Tyler, from the same high school that produced Heisman Trophy winner Earl Campbell for the Longhorns. 2nd down and 8. Good fake by Thomas. Now fires it out near midfield. The ball is caught by Barnes. Octavius Barnes for 16 yards and a North Carolina first down.
Nice action on this. Nice bootleg action off the counter fake. He gets outside. Mike Thomas really has a good passing lane downfield, can see everything in front of him and put the ball right on the money.
15 yards on the play.
He had nice sight lines. He stayed on the move and took a nice shot from Norman Watkins.
Curtis Johnson now, Doug, has come into the backfield at tailback for North Carolina. Operating in Texas territory. Thomas, left side the wall. He's wide open inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Again, it's their play-action passing game. They run the ball extremely well. They come off the play action. They have the receivers crisscrossing from one side of the field to the other. Wall comes all the way across the field. Little semi-roll right, pulls up. There goes Wall across the field. Nice step into the throw. No problem.
24 yards on the pass play to Marcus Wall. And Thomas has completed his first 3 passes.
For a 47% passing, right?
Not bad. 1st and 10. And they go with Curtis Johnson. And driving those legs inside of the 20. Chris Carter made the tackle.
Curtis's forte is more north-south running, power running. They say he's one of the faster guys on the team, one of the top 2 speed guys. But this year he's been contained a little bit as far as the breakaway runs. He is more of a power back.
6 for North Carolina.
Both Curtis and Leon Johnson were 1,000-yard rushers a season ago. They fell a little shy of that milestone this season. There's 721 for Johnson. Still a fine year. 2nd and 6. We'll call it from the 20. Ran into his own lineman, did Johnson. And Tyson King was able to finish him off.
Tyson King, number 50,
on the flip side of it, Leon is more the north-south guy. Curtis is more the north-south guy. Leon is a slasher cutter, catches the ball out of the backfield extremely well. In fact, the last 2 seasons he's had 29 receptions each, which is the most ever by a back in Tar Heel history.
Johnson and Johnson, no more tears is what they like to dub themselves. 3rd down and 5 on the opening series of the game. Takes the throw right, across the middle. Octavius Barnes in traffic. Makes the catch and picks up the first down.
Just a great catch. They run this double screen play where the tailback goes to the right. They threw the ball earlier to Leon. That was covered. He turns backside and throws the ball to Barnes, and Barnes makes a great catch in traffic. It's great concentration. He looks right, doesn't see it. They go off at the back, comes backside. Great catch in traffic and to get the first down.
Barnes, who will double as a basketball player at Carolina this season, picks up the first down catch from the 12. Curtis Johnson right up the middle and touchdown North Carolina on the opening drive.
Between the tackles.
Curtis Johnson.
Just a gaping hole. They blow this wide open. He does nothing but north-south. It's the offensive line of the Tar Heels blowing people out.
They marched 78 yards and finished the drive 11 yards out with Curtis Johnson. Now the extra point by Trip Pignetti. Todd Phillips on the snap. Jay Boaz on the hold, and the kick is true. What a way to start the game.
Great way to start the game. Walks right into the end zone, blows the hole open from behind.
North Carolina takes the opening kickoff and then drives 78 yards for a touchdown. Curtis Johnson from 11 yards out.
Mike Thomas, our 47% passer, was 4 for 4 for 54 yards in his first drive. And there's also the talk, I was down on the field talking to Mac Brown just before the game. He will play Jason Stanisic. He's going to let Mike Thomas go the first 2 drives and bring Jason in and see who has the hot hand. It could be tough to pull Mike out.
Oh, man, after that drive, how do you pull him? But Mike Thomas, perfect 4 out of 4.
And number 39, Curtis Jackson, are deep for the Longhorns.
But Texas was in an early situation like this against Baylor in its last game of the regular season.
They really were, and Baylor was putting the ball up and down the field, no problem on the Texas defense. But James Brown continued to move the ball from beginning to end and actually blew Baylor out. 63-35, the final score in that game.
Yeah, at one point, Texas in that game scored 42 unanswered points. There were 5 touchdowns all totaled in the first quarter of that wild game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, we were expecting fireworks today, and so far so good.
Not to disappoint, Carolina taking that opening kick and driving. Scott Caparelli will handle the kickoff chores for the Tar Heels. Curtis Jackson waiting to receive at the goal line. Also Rod Walker back there.
It's windy down on the field. The ball's blown off the tee twice now.
So a little assist coming up from Terry Phillips. And he'll be booting this one downwind.
Actually, in pregame, this would be into the face of the wind, so the wind has changed. But flags are blowing right to left for us.
Now let's see if Texas has an answer to North Carolina's hot start. Here they'll touch the football for the first time. Not a very big kick at all. Jackson at the 10. Jackson with room at the 20. And out to the 30. James Brown, redshirt freshman from Beaumont, Texas. Amazing stats. 12 touchdowns thrown this season. Only 2 interceptions.
19 yards on the return.
In the backfield, Priest Holmes with Roderick Walker, Eric Jackson, and Lavelle Pinckney. What a target they are. Steve Bradley at the tight end. On the line, Blake Brockermeyer has a big NFL future. On that left side, John Elmore, Dan Neal, Corby Brooks, and Joe Phillips. Texas operating on offense for the first time today from its own 30. Brown with pressure, looks left side. They set him up just right. Priest Holmes across the 40 into North Carolina territory, inside of the 40 and down at the 37.
Beautifully set up screen. The big part of North Carolina's defense is their pass rush, their defensive ends. They come right out with a screen to try to slow down that pass rush. Here they come off the corners. James Brown gives ground, turns, gets the ball to Priest, and he's off and running.
All season long, Holmes caught 5 passes in all for a total of 10 yards. That one for 33 and a first at the Tar Heel 37. Brown will fire again. This time picked off and some room ahead. It's Eddie Mason for North Carolina.
He tried to force the curl route. Strong safety, I believe it was the strong safety that got a handle on the ball and tipped it. See it from the eyes of James Brown here from the backside on the replay. James came back. He had a man in the flat and a curl route, and the ball just gets tipped. He shouldn't have thrown this ball. It was too tight a seam. Mike Morton, middle linebacker, with the tip.
And Mason with the interception. So part of that 3M company on defense, the linebacking core, combining, in fact, on that interception of James Brown.
James had only thrown 2 interceptions all year.
He had a streak of 67 straight without a pick before that one. Now running the option. Mike Thomas, will he give it up? No, he'll keep it for a gain of about 3. Norman Watkins manning that side for the Longhorns.
Texas strung that out pretty well. He made the right decision to keep the ball. He just didn't quite have the speed to get to the crease.
Mac Brown said there's a little bit of a misconception about how often we really run the option.
Yeah, they feel they run the ball inside more often, run power, lead type of plays, and they run the option occasionally to make teams defend it and worry about it.
Out of the eye, Leon Johnson back at the tailback position. Rolling out, wide open again. It's Marcus Wall for a first down at the Texas 36.
Marcus Wall.
Gain of 14.
Number 16, Chris Carter, stops the Longhorns.
Marcus Wall.
It's Joey Ellis coming off the corner here. Joey is going to be on a blitz. It's picked up, which leaves no underneath coverage over here.
To the 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tar Heels.
They sprint out on the corner, and Marcus Wall just sits it down nice and easy, and it's an easy completion.
Wall's second catch, and now Leon Johnson back running the football. Nice room ahead to the 26. That's near the first down yardage. Mike Hopgood helped clear that right side for Leon.
Leon had a lot of open spaces there. He took it in off tackle, bounced it outside, so there was no problem there getting outside. Mike Hopgood with the big block on the play.
Leon Johnson grew up as a big Clemson fan. Wanted to go to Clemson and play quarterback for the Tigers. They call him the natural at North Carolina. And here he is. No room this time. And they'll face 3rd and short.
Number 17, Trey Thomas.
North Carolina 8-3. Ranked 17th, in fact, in the Bowl Coalition poll. 5-3 in conference.
Little or no gain on the play.
19th bowl appearance today for North Carolina.
Well, Mac Brown says half the teams ahead of them are in bowl games and they're going to have to lose, and they can move up from that 17th position.
He would love to get up to number 10 in the rankings. Very aware of the rankings coming into this game. Watching him closely. Thomas. Oh, not a very wise choice that time. He pitched it after already picking up the first down.
Very indecisive on what to do.
And Thomas recovered.
3rd and short, 3rd and medium. He should tuck this ball under and go for the first down. He's very indecisive. They play it loosely, feather it out, and he's indecisive on what to do with the football. Tuck it away, put your head down, try to get that first.
It's a forward lateral, Doug, as that ball was flung forward. Thomas was able to recover.
Be a 5-yard penalty and loss of down.
I honestly don't believe he was trying to pitch the ball. I think he had it extended in his hand and was thinking about pitching it when he got hit and the ball jumps out of his hand. So he's starting to pitch it. Oh, no, he did. He started to flip the football. So it was an illegal forward pass.
Robert Reed had it bounce right off his face mask. And that'll back North Carolina to the 28. And they will not pick up the first down since it's a loss of down. So they had the yardage before that ill-advised toss. They'll try a field goal attempt by Trip Pignetti. Career long of 47. This is a 45-yard kick downwind.
No. During pregame, I talked to Trip, and he said that he'd feel more comfortable kicking the long field goals going the other way. But then again, at that time, the wind was blowing the other way.
So Brown's interception does not result in any North Carolina points. It remains 7-0 North Carolina.
The Football Association promotes a number of events. We hope you enjoy the Sierra Medical Center.
With 132 frisky horses. Tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denerex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
That's why I started using Denerex. No flakes, no itch.
Denerex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
At the Sun Bowl in El Paso, North Carolina and Texas, 7-7 in the first. Jim Nance along with Doug Flutie and Andrea Joyce along as well. We're glad to have you with us for the 61st edition of the Sun Bowl. North Carolina took the opening drive here, marched right in for a touchdown. But Texas has come right back.
The ball has gone up and down the field. We anticipated a lot of offense. Mack Brown said during the week that a lot of times when that happens, defenses hear it all week long and get fired up and come out and shut it down. But on the other side, Mackovic said, hey, we got 90 plays. We're just going to outscore them. And that's what it looks like so far.
He says we're going to use all 90 plays. We're just going to try to outscore them today. And that's what everyone was hoping for here. Explosive scene, and it's been the case so far. Phil Dawson to kick. Again, a short one. Wall at the 22. And out to the 35.
Tell you what, Marcus Wall, for a little guy, he lays it up in there. Marcus Wall's a small guy, only 165 pounds, 5'10", but totally fearless.
Well, as you said, Doug,
Jason Stanisic.
On the third series of the game, they bring in the all-time passer for North Carolina, Jason Stanisic.
He holds records for total offense, career attempts, career completions, and total yards. 24-9 as a starter.
Curtis Johnson is his tailback. Stanisic executes the option to Johnson for about 7. Joey Ellis bumps him out.
That's the difference with Jason. He runs the option much better than Mike Thomas. He does an excellent job coming off the play fake of accelerating to get to the defensive end, or in this case a linebacker, to make him come towards him so he can pitch the ball, get the corner.
Of 7 yards.
Jason was flattened by Robert Reed after the pitch, but he's fine and faces second down and 3. Malcolm Marshall at fullback, Curtis Johnson the tailback. Johnson, first down to the 50. Nice block by the fullback Marshall.
Tackled in midfield by number 40.
He does a nice job here, dipping and bouncing to the outside and then slipping through an arm tackle. There wasn't a lot there that time, and that's the power running of Curtis Johnson.
Mike Thomas getting a little extra padding on that right knee. First down from the 50. Texas showing blitz. Curtis Johnson, he is dropped for a loss. Chris Akins, a freshman, a true freshman from Paris, Texas, over 300 pounds, and what a big future for this man.
Joey Ellis jumped up into the front there, became an 8-man front for Texas. This is playing the run. North Carolina obviously has been running the ball extremely well. Texas decided, let's try some 8-man front to shut down that running game.
Akins drops him for a 1-yard loss, so second and 11. Delay give to Johnson. Down to the 43 of Texas.
Johnson carries for the Tar Heels.
We talked about all those records that Stanisic set during his career. He broke a couple that belonged to the legendary Charlie Choo Choo Justice, 2-time runner-up for the Heisman, 2-time All-America, wearing that uniform number of Doug Flutie. 22. Is that why you wore 22 at BC?
Exactly. Definitely. Gotta love that number.
I tell you, they love Choo Choo. We send along our best wishes to him today. Third down and 3. A late give and a loss on the play. Trey Thomas ran right down the line with him, and they stop him short. Fourth down coming up.
Excellent job of stringing it out by Texas. Jason tried to get the corner, tried to get out there and draw. Couldn't get all the way out. The pitch relationship at the last second is too close. 17 can play both the quarterback and then he gets to the pitch back. He's in position right now where he needs to make the pitch. The pitch is made, but so is the tackle by Thomas.
So a punting situation, and Mike Thomas, starting quarterback, is also the punter for North Carolina, and a good one. Chris Carter back for Texas. Inside of the 20, fair catch made at the 17.
17-yard line.
Mack Brown says, I think Mike Thomas has the leg to be an NFL punter.
He also stated that he thinks he's a better punter when he is starting and playing. He gets into the game more. He gets the emotional level going. So I don't know if this counts. Does it count? He started, but he's not playing at the moment.
Yeah, we'll count it. We'll count it. And that's you know, not as deep as he would have liked to have pinned Texas there, but still inside of the 20. So Texas at the 17. This is now all total the 6th possession of the game for these two teams. Every time the other team has advanced it into the other side of the field. Priest Holmes for 5.
For 33, Priest Holmes carries for the Longhorns.
The way Holmes is running the football here in the first quarter, you mentioned that after opening the season with 3 straight 100-yard efforts, he was a little bit banged up, beaten up, and didn't have a huge rest of the year.
At 190 pounds, it's very difficult to carry the ball 25, 30 times a game, and that's the type of games he was having the first part of the season. And, you know, got little nicks here and there. It just wasn't quite the same, and now he's had a chance to rest a little before the bowl game, opportunity to be healthy.
Whistle on the field.
Timeout, Carolina.
Timeout called by North Carolina. Now, there was a bizarre moment, really, in the season for John Mackovic and Texas. It came against Colorado, and Mackovic was taken out on this play and suffered a concussion. Watch him on the sideline get hit by one of his own players. That's coach right there. And he suffered a concussion that really lingered for about 30 days, and he felt it harnessed his ability to coach.
He really did. He said he didn't have the enthusiasm. He kind of just was in a daze or in a fog, going through the motions for the entire month. And all of a sudden, one day in practice, he broke out of it. He said he recognized something that went wrong in practice, and up until that point, he kept his mouth shut. And he lost it a little bit on the field and got emotionally back into it. And now since then has decided, I'm going to become more involved in this offense. Started calling the plays offensively, and they've done extremely well.
It also, Doug, was during that time of what you call post-concussion syndrome, where Texas reached the bottom of its season. Lost the game against Rice, and also suffered a loss against Texas Tech and Texas A&M, and there was a controversial time for the team, but they have fought their way out of it and really seemed to hit on all cylinders in the last couple of weeks of the season.
There was also a decision made to suspend a couple of players that were out past curfew along those lines, so that was a hard time for him. But with the reemergence of James Brown at quarterback and the end of this season, they put it back together.
2nd and 4. Carolina had to call timeout. They had only 10 men on the field. And look at the run by Holmes again. Priest Holmes for big yardage to the 37. A 14-yard gain this time.
Tripped up by number 25, Terry
Right tackle Joe Phillips made a nice block on this play, allowing Priest Holmes to get up and through. He shows great footwork, just great agile athletic ability. Nice at the point of attack. Well, Marcus Jones, who is probably their best defensive player.
Holmes picking up good yardage here in the first quarter. Already 36 yards on the ground and the touchdown for Texas. Now they go to 2 tight ends.
This is a running formation for Texas.
On first down. Brown will run it. Open field ahead. Tiptoes out of bounds. Backwards, I should add, at the 48. First down and a gain of 11. Got a good block over there on that side by Eric Jackson.
James Brown just makes it look so easy. He's very relaxed out on the field, moving around, comes off the play action. He actually had the tight end open in the flat, but sees the crease, steps up. Look at how relaxed. You better tuck that ball away, though. And get some nice blocks downfield.
Last block by Jackson.
How nonchalant can you be?
Very comfortable.
He's in his own little world out there, his own little playground.
And poised for the freshman, who has Texas near midfield and another first down. Reverse. It is, in fact, to Eric Jackson for 6 yards.
Number 9, Eric Jackson.
Again, now every possession in this first quarter has moved into the opponent's territory.
Both offenses moving the ball, and not just throwing the ball or running. They're mixing it up. Both teams are moving the ball extremely well, running and throwing. And Texas, I think, is more apt to show some razzle-dazzle. We were talking, they have a couple of trick plays in their book.
John Mackovic has a reputation for some flair on offense.
Texas has 85 yards through the air and 58 on the ground so far.
2nd down and 4. Left side. Pass a little low for Fitzgerald.
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 81, Pat Fitzgerald.
Let's profile the Longhorns on the season, Doug.
Number 47.
Team that went 7-4 and shared a Southwest Conference title with A&M ineligible, a 5-way tie for first.
5-way tie, share the title. You got to love that. But they are excited to be back in the bowl picture, and they're looking for big things. I'll tell you what, early in the season, they were thinking Cotton all the way.
Last bowl appearance was in the Cotton on January 1, 91. 3rd down and 4. Fumble, snap.
Brown fumbles the snap and kneels down.
He
to recover.
hit the ground, so the play is dead right there at the 46-yard line.
Now, James has a tendency of doing that. On film, there were a couple of plays when he fumbled a snap or when defensive linemen jumped offside or his offensive linemen were moving, that he just took the ball, put his knee on the ground, and kind of ended the play. You got to try to make a little bit of an effort there to stay on your feet and scoop the ball up and continue with the play if you can. You don't want a turnover, obviously.
That stalls the Texas drive. And Dwayne Vasick will punt. Marcus Wall on the return, standing at the 10-yard line. He ran one back this year for a touchdown. And Vasick gets the job done. They down it at the 12-yard line. Robert Crenshaw touches it at the 12.
The wind must really be blowing hard right to left for us. The ball is not carrying when they're kicking the ball to our right. And Marcus needed to make a better effort at fielding that kick, but I think because of the wind conditions, he really just decided to let that thing bounce.
We have time perhaps for one more play here in the first quarter with North Carolina and Texas tied 7-7. Stanisic is the quarterback for the second straight series. Leon Johnson the tailback. Stanisic, pass a little behind Octavius Barnes at the 30.
There was a big hole on the backside, and Octavius continued to run across the field.
Number 16, Chris Carter on the cover.
Jason was trying to get him to settle down. There's a big hole on the backside here. When Jason rolls right, the post clears it out. There's a big old hole. Now sit it down. Jason can't lead him because of the linebackers on the other side of the field.
That was the first incompletion of the game for the Tar Heels. Thomas 5 of 5, and Stanisic with his first attempt right there. Leon Johnson breaks the tackle at the line. And out of bounds at the 17. A hard-earned 5 yards to end the first quarter. CBS Sports coverage of the 1994 Sun Bowl will continue after this message and a word from your local station. 7-7 at the Sun Bowl.
To take care of her.
As the second quarter begins.
Come back for the start of the second quarter
Their own 17-yard line.
from Sun City in El Paso, Texas. 3rd down and 5. Stanisic with nowhere to go. Ball in the air. Watkins has it.
Oh, he lost it.
Ball free on the goal line, and let's see. Texas says it has a touchdown. Indeed, touchdown Longhorns.
Did not have a prayer on this. He started to roll out, got pulled up, and the backside hit. The ball went flying.
Norman Watkins recovers his own fumble for the Texas touchdown.
He got too excited. He's running into the end zone and decides to drop the football. Great recovery, though. He showed good awareness to catch the ball and continue to run toward the end zone. But I don't know what happened under the scramble, but I think he still got the touchdown.
Norman Watkins picks the ball up in the air after a brutal hit on the quarterback. That was a wild one. Now the extra point try by Phil Dawson. 14-7 Texas.
It was Thomas Baskins coming from the back side, or I'm sorry, he's in the front side. We're going to pull out, we roll up, rolling out and pulling up, and Baskins gets the pressure. No, it wasn't the backside. backside hit. It was the backside hit by Brackens. Brackens came in from the backside, got the big pop, and the ball was loose. Would have been a little easier if Norman Watkins just hold on to the ball and run it in, but he had to make it fun. From the end zone, gets pulled up, has to stop, and boom, from the backside, the ball is loose. Watkins gets too excited, ball's back on the ground, and Texas gets the touchdown.
You got to be happy that Watkins was able to recover his own fumble.
You don't get those opportunities too often, and we were talking to him.
Cujo, baby.
We were talking to Thomas Baskin about the possibility of defensive players scoring touchdowns and the celebrating and all that. So they got their opportunity defensively.
How you doing, Jordan? Love you, baby.
Said we wanted to have a chance to express ourselves in this game, and they have with a touchdown here on the first play of the second quarter. Dawson to boot it.
Question is, who is going to be a quarterback for North Carolina in this drive?
More bowl action coming up on CBS. Monday, the CarQuest Bowl. South Carolina and West Virginia. You'd love one more shot at the Mountaineers, wouldn't you?
0 for 4 against West Virginia in my years at Boston College. Don Nehlen's done a fantastic job. I think they've won 6 out of their last 7 this year.
Yeah, they're hot coming into the bowl game, and we'll have that game for you Monday here on CBS.
Mike Thomas does have his helmet on and should be going back into quarterback for North Carolina in this series.
Big kick through the end zone, and Thomas and the Tar Heels will start this series from the 20.
Tar Heels will have it first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
There's Mike Thomas.
He had the hot hand early. It was good to see Jason get in the game, though. Stanisic has been such a big part of this turnaround at Carolina over the last 3 years. He deserved the opportunity to play, and maybe he hasn't seen his last of action today.
Mike Thomas is a junior and poised now to be the Tar Heel quarterback throughout the '95 season. Leon Johnson in the backfield. And they love his hands usually coming out of the backfield, but not this time.
Gets zone coverage and dumps it off to the back. Leon, they brag about his hand, and he does have fantastic hands. And he's just a great, tremendous athlete. This just gets away from him. The head goes upfield just before he decides to catch it and tuck it away. Took his eye off the ball at the last second.
Second down and 10. Thomas downfield. Barnes at the 40 and tackled at the 46. 26 yards to Octavius Barnes.
Absolutely no help in the middle of the field. Off the play action fake, the linebackers are up nice and tight. Octavius runs a good route and gets open on the in route. I mean, it's simple, easy football. Run the ball well and then go play action.
Barnes 3 catches for 50 yards. A freshman.
Mike Thomas does stand tall in the pocket, though. He has a real stable feet standing there to throw the football. At 6'3", he sees downfield very well. Of course, height isn't an issue in the pocket.
No, you don't want to hear it or talk about it. Thomas back to Barnes, who collared at the 45. That's another first down at the 43. Here's a guy that would like to double dip this weekend if he had the chance tomorrow. North Carolina in basketball plays UNC Wilmington, and Barnes could in fact end up suiting up for that game for Coach Dean Smith.
Yeah, they say he's an excellent defensive player. That you know, obviously because of football, he doesn't have the opportunity to get his shot down too quickly, but great defensive basketball player.
First down, and Curtis Johnson for no gain. Barnes played JV, in fact, last year, JV basketball for Carolina. And, you know, with Pat Sullivan hobbled and out with a back injury on the #1 basketball team in the country, Barnes could contribute.
He's a tremendous all-around athlete. He was a quarterback in high school. He can throw the football on reverses. In fact, did against Duke for a touchdown.
He'll slip on the jersey 50 when he joins the basketball side. Movement on the left side of the football for Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have another lost parent with Bobby Orfanto Guajardo.
Myron Thomas lifted up just a little premature there.
I want to ask you, you were one time contemplating a little double dip at BC, weren't you?
Came back for my 5th year to finish up school after playing in the USFL.
Ball start.
Had an opportunity with Gary Williams as the head coach, who's now at the University of Maryland.
Second down.
And had a possibility of playing point guard. Donald Trump stepped in at the last minute, kind of vetoed it and said, no, you're under contract with me. You're not going to do that.
Second and 17 for the Tar Heels.
Second down for Carolina, second and 16. Thomas back across the middle and deflected. He was going back to Barnes. Chris Carter on the coverage. May have gotten a fingertip on it.
Chris Carter playing free safety, sitting back in center field, has seen enough of this in-route stuff in front of him. Decides to really jump the route, comes flying up.
Chris Carter makes the play.
Good job pulling off the big hit. Little tap, both of them. I love seeing that, especially as a quarterback, obviously.
Hey, Watkins has a touchdown in this game. He wants to slap everybody around and have some fun now.
Yeah, give me another chance.
Third down play. And good yardage to the 34. William Henderson out of the backfield. He caught only one pass all season long. This one goes for 14 and about 2 yards shy of the first.
Mike Thomas, for a guy that we talk about throwing the ball down the field, he's going underneath quite a bit and shows very good touch on the ball in this pass. Just laid it over to the defender's head, dropped it in softly to a fullback who may not be too used to catching the ball.
They're going to go for it here, Doug, on 4th and short.
4th and short, and Leon is in a tailback. Leon Johnson.
4th and 2 from the Texas 35. Option time for Carolina. The pitch to Leon Johnson. First down for the Tar Heels.
Still a little indecisive on the option game with Mike.
Picks up 4 on the play. And the Tar Heel
Mike takes it down the line, and he's looking for a crease. He had in his mind to tuck this ball up and to cut it upfield, but just couldn't find a crease. He gets strung out the real outside, wanted to get up in there, but instead the pitch to the outside. Obviously no defenders in this area. Leon goes north-south and makes sure he gets the first down.
From the 31, 12:20 to go, second quarter. Texas leads here, 14-7.
8-man front defensively. Texas.
Thomas burns Carolina's second timeout.
So, Ray, what do you think?
Well, they would never make my training table.
Why?
Because my guys would say to me, hey, Ray.
Jim Nance, Doug Flutie back in El Paso. North Carolina moving the football, looking to tie this game in the second quarter. 1st and 10, Tar Heels from the 31. Option to the right this time. Leon Johnson, open field. And about 9, he was challenged by Joey Ellis.
Joey Ellis did a nice job in the open field. That looked like it could have been a touchdown, and Leon usually makes people miss in the open field. Again, they're getting a secondary man involved in the front. This time from the weak side, the corner came in the weak side corner blitz. But he was no factor because the option game was run to the opposite side of the field.
North Carolina has really had a huge advantage in the second quarter this year. They gave up a touchdown, though, on the first play of this quarter. Fullback running the football, William Henderson down to the 10-yard line, and another first down. William Henderson, the senior from Chester, Virginia.
Texas said they were concerned about between the tackles. They wanted to stop the running game inside, make them pitch the ball, make North Carolina run the option and get outside, as opposed to allowing them to gain their yards between the tackles.
Leon Johnson. That time for about 2. Kyle Richardson came up to make the play. Got some help also from Tyson King, Tony Brackens.
Number 98, Tony Brackens, combined to make
Kyle Richardson, just a true freshman, forced into action because of injuries this year. They really didn't want him to play, but they really had to, and they put him in, and he said absolutely no problem adopting. He never struggled from day one.
Comes from a football family, that's for sure. His father, Don, is the head football coach at Highland Park. Second down play. Again, little run. Through the run.
Their best blocker in the offense is their tight end, Greg Galan, and they've been lining him up flexed or moved out from the formation. And right now, he's not really a factor in the blocking game and the run game.
Third down for North Carolina. It is possible to pick up a first just inside of the 1-yard line. Third, and we'll call it 5. Leon Johnson, the tailback.
Okay, again, it's an 8-man front. Mike Johnson with the audible.
Thomas in trouble.
I'm sorry, Mike Thomas.
And brought down at the 8. Norman Watkins and Tony Brackens forced the play.
The last couple of times running the option, it's been really stretched out wide. Brackens jumps in quickly, closes it down, and Thomas doesn't even have an opportunity to pitch the ball.
So they'll try a field goal now with Pignetti. This will be a 25-yard boot from the right hash mark. He missed from 45 earlier in this game. This time for 25. The kick is good.
Very nearly getting blocked.
So with 9:57 remaining in the first half, Texas 14, North Carolina 10. Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator, meeting with his squad. A squad that kept Carolina out of the end zone on that last possession. Tar Heels settling for a field goal. North Carolina. Henderson had a couple of big runs to help get them near the goal line.
Mike Thomas came right back in and let him do a scoring drive.
Mack Brown, whose brother Watson is the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, and the Sooners lost last night in their bowl game to BYU.
They took it hard. They took it hard on the chin. BYU lit up the scoreboard.
Scott Caparelli will kick for Carolina.
Did Mom make the trip back from that game?
She did. She's doing the old Texas shuttle and is here today. Here's Curtis Jackson on the run back. Down at the 35. What timing you have, Doug? Let's go right now to Andrea Joyce.
Well, Jim, funny you should ask. We found her as soon as you said so. Catherine Brown, you think you're having a tough time keeping track of the Bulls. Consider her plight. The mother of Mack Brown, also of Watson Brown. She's been shuttling back and forth between El Paso and Tucson, to see her son Watson, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. A couple of grown kids, they sure do have you hopping these days, right?
Oh, it's been that way for a long time. I haven't missed many of their games.
What advice do you give your sons before big games like this one?
You don't. You just wish them well.
You're just there to support him. Now, you talked to Watson. You saw him this week. What's his mood like these days? His future up in the air with Howard Schnellenberger taking over as head coach at Oklahoma?
Yes, it's confusing, but he has some options, and that's wonderful.
Are you going to try to encourage him to get a little closer to home?
Oh, of course. Of course.
All right, back to you guys. Bowling with the Browns could be a new drama series, Jim.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrea. Juan Kemp came in to make that catch.
Fuzzy Lee made a really nice play reacting up off the corner there. In fact, if James had held on the ball a fraction of a second, he might have had a shot at the Bell Pickney up the sideline.
2nd and 5. Priest Holmes inside of the 50 and down at the 45 of North Carolina. Some fancy footwork in this game by Priest Holmes. Another 14 yards on this one.
Backside guys pulling on the counter, they get the corner for the back. There's just too much open space for Mike Morton to make the tackle on Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes now with 6 carries for 50 yards.
He's got some quick feet.
Boy, that play really displayed just that from the 45 of the Tar Heels. Right side, open man, Pinckney, brought down at the 26, a gain of 19. Lavelle Pinckney, what a target, 6'5", 245, a wide receiver with 4.4 speed.
James loves throwing the ball to Lavelle. He says, hey, it doesn't matter if he's covered. I'm going to throw it up and let him go get it. On this particular play, he held on to the ball a fraction of a second long, allowed it to develop, and Lavelle was wide open.
Pinckney out of Washington, D.C. His high school coach has come to watch him play today. If he stays for his senior year, he has a chance to break all of the receiving records at Texas. He has set up Texas now for another scoring opportunity at the 26. Great protection to the end zone. Brown's pass batted down. James Hamilton, the rover, made the play. Pass intended for Priest Holmes.
Tell you what, if he lays it out there, he has a chance. The ball gets a little too flat. If he can lay it up and over the top, he would have had a better opportunity. Nice defensive play.
James Hamilton.
Lavelle Pinckney was waving his arms there, sliding towards the post. He had a legitimate opportunity going down the middle of the field.
Hamilton, who made that play, another one of the players out of Hamlet, North Carolina, for the Tar Heels. Sterling effort that time. Second and 10. Rod Walker. Walker gets beat up for a 1-yard gain. Kerry Mock hit him first. The left tackle for Texas, Blake Brockermeyer, a junior from Fort Worth, has not allowed a sack in the last 15 games. Check him out on this running play.
He is a force. He's the bulk of their offensive line. He makes it happen for him. Projected first-round draft choice. He did petition the NFL to see where he would go in the draft and see what opportunities he has this year. He may come out a year early.
The report back from the league was very encouraging and one that would make you think he would go pro here after his junior year. Third down, Brown goes back to the end zone. Pinckney over the head of Pinckney, but a flag is thrown on Omar Brown.
Omar made a good decision. He was beat. He reached at the last second to try to trip Pinckney up. Pinckney made a good move to the post, went out to the corner route. Ball was well thrown, but because Omar got a hand on him and tripped him up, he just couldn't quite get to the ball. Take the penalty instead of giving up the touchdown.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's a big turn. Even if he is covered on the play, throw the ball up and let him go get it. There's a pull on the jersey, a little trip on the ankle, and he just quite can't get to the ball. Again, they were attacking the nickel back in that situation. That was Omar Brown, who comes in the game as the 5th DB, and they went right at him.
College football, they marked that penalty off from the line of scrimmage. 15 yards, sets up Texas at the 9 with Rod Walker on the pitch. Walker to the 5-yard line.
Roderick Walter carrying from the 5-yard line.
Tackled by Riddick Parker.
Number 38, Eric Thomas.
John Makovic was talking about perception-wise the enormous difference between 8 and 4 going into the offseason versus 7 and 5, which rides on this game.
Big difference for the program. They won 10 ball games a year ago. They feel they should be right there every year now.
Walker, right side, and it's shy of the goal line.
I'm sorry, that was not, that's North Carolina we're talking about. We're talking about the perception of Texas football and going into this bowl game of how they can build this program. You know, originally when they went down, they were talking about the demise of the defensive line when the team was starting to slide a little bit. And now that their defensive line is back, they feel like they're going to be a top 10 program again.
See the call here. 3rd and goal from the 1. Two tight ends, Bradley and Fitzgerald. Brown to the end zone. Pass incomplete. Priest Holmes was popped right when the ball reached his arms.
The play happened just too quick. James Brown was too excited. He wanted to get the ball to him right now. Priest Holmes was open in the flat, but he couldn't get the ball to him quick enough. He couldn't get it out of his hands. Fuzzy Lee comes in hard with the big hit. James is upset because he knows he was open, but he couldn't get rid of the ball quick enough. If Priest had maybe taken it upfield another step before breaking, it would have been an easy touchdown.
Well, the crowd is roaring now. Texas will go for it on 4th and goal with Lucas on a wing. Priest Holmes. Holmes into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
Through the defensive line, for the defensive line in North Carolina, almost had an opportunity of Priest in the backfield, couldn't get to him. The quick feed of Priest Holmes gets himself outside. Right there, Mock almost makes the play, can't quite get there. Great effort to get into the end zone, turned it up north-south, was not to be denied.
Holmes' second touchdown of this game, and Dawson to try the extra point. Good again. 41 out of 41 on the season. Priest Holmes and the Longhorns have taken a 21-10 lead.
Then they pulled some people around. No, they ain't come back. They ain't come back. It was outside.
21-10 Texas. And the scoring drive that time, 9 plays, 64 yards. Bevo says, let the stampede continue.
Bevo's not smiling, though. Be happy. Smile.
Pretty serious-minded about his football. Wait till the end of the game.
It's too early. I was going to say, it's too early to smile.
Wait till you see the smile he'll break out with if they win this game.
North Carolina has to answer a score here. They have to come back and get some points on the board.
Marcus Wall, will he run it back? Yes, from 4 yards deep. Wall to the 15, bouncing around. Oh, he almost got the corner, and then dragged down by Robert Crenshaw.
Got a late flag there. I don't know if it was for celebrating or what.
For a fleeting second there, I thought he might get the corner, and he could be dangerous.
Bad field position. Oh, okay. Going the other way with it. Good field position for North Carolina. I'll tell you, for a small guy, he puts a lot of effort. He just he's flashy, jumping, diving, going, running, spins out of it. Doesn't quite pull away. Hog time.
Dead ball. Clip on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's the most unusual penalty. Clip against the kicking team.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Curtis Johnson, tailback on this series for North Carolina. Thomas on the run to Wall, catch made at the 40.
That is a tremendous throw.
How hard is that throw?
Oh, continuing to step forward into the hit, and at the last second changed his mind from throwing the curl route to throwing to the outside receiver. And while he's being stuck, moving full speed, moving forward, takes the big hit from Watkins. Boom! And he still gets the ball there. You got to have a strong arm to do that.
Tony Brackens goes to the sidelines, a little nicked on that play. The sophomore, who is the consensus All-Southwest Conference player. Second down and 4. Curtis Johnson smothered near the first down. I believe he has the first down yardage. Chris Akins had a bear hug on him.
They ran the ball right to where Brackens was. Oh, he's right back in now.
That's enough for a first down.
But they did pick up a good chunk of yardage there.
Tremaine Brown on defense now for Texas, number 34. He's come in. 5:23 to go in the first half. Texas 21-10. Thomas. Oh, was that play covered by Texas? Joey Ellis and Norman Watkins.
Bad decision on Thomas's play. This again is that double screen they run. They run a little slip screen with the back to the flat. It's not there. Watkins pulls off, and so does Joey Ellis. You got to pull that ball down, turn back, and throw the middle screen to the wide receiver on the backside, which is Octavius Barnes.
Joey Ellis, Gary Darnell, the defensive coordinator, told us, famous for his fireside chats with the defense. Real leader of that defensive bunch. 2nd and 14. Thomas fires it. Wall makes the catch. And still well short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about 7. Bryant Westbrook made the hit on that play.
Big part of their defense early in the year. He had 2 big interceptions in one ball game and then turns around, gets banged up, and they're happy to have him back on the field. I don't believe he started the ball game, but now he's back in there getting some serious playing time.
Yeah, he's in for the starter, Taji Allen. 3rd down 7 with 4 minutes remaining first half. Draw. Johnson. Nowhere. Maybe a yard. They tried to fool the middle, the defensive tackles, Brackens and Baskin. But no way, they say, and Darnell's defensive team forces him to punt. And Mike Thomas will boot the ball for the Tar Heels. Averaged 39 yards a kick this season. 1 was blocked. Fair catch called by Carter. And made at the 19. Call it the 20. 3:14 remaining in the second quarter. Texas behind 2 touchdown runs by Priest Holmes and a score by the defense, leads by 11.
Back at the Sun Bowl, Texas leading North Carolina 21-10. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Joyce. Coming up at halftime, we'll update you on the latest sports news. We'll examine the #1 question in college football. How do you determine who's #1? And we'll have a reading from the poet laureate of the Longhorns, Stoney Clark. But right now, let's get back to the game. And here's Jim and Doug.
Thank you, Andrea. We'll look forward to that. Stoney Clark, quite a character, and unfortunately injured and out of this game. But he made a big tackle, one of the biggest tackles of the season, college football. Against Oklahoma, it was. James Brown's handoff goes right back to Priest Holmes, and he gallops to the 32 for 12 yards.
Here comes Texas again. They've scored 110 points in the last 2 games, and they're on that same pace with 21 points with 3 minutes to go in the half. They get 1 more score. North Carolina's going to have to start throwing the football.
Seems North Carolina lost a lot of its momentum when they made the change at quarterback.
They really did, and I'm all for getting Jason in the game, and I agreed with that decision, but right now it looks like that kind of slowed them down a little bit and took some of the pep out of their offense.
Brown to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in the open field sidesteps a defender who is down, and a gain of 16. That's Terry Billups having a hard time getting up. They had twisted a knee trying to stop the big fella running that time.
Up until that catch, first 6 completions for James Brown with the 6 different receivers. He's very comfortable throwing the ball all over the field.
2:41 remaining in the half. Texas has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. North Carolina with 1 left. intercepted for the second time by Eddie Mason.
Great play by Mason. I don't know if he was fooled by the play action and then reacted late, but he was caught up in the line of scrimmage and reacted to get back out of it. Got his hands on the football. There's no way James Brown could have seen him. No way. He's coming from the right of the screen. He's on the edge. He starts upfield, sees the back, reacts to the play beautifully.
Second and 10. Texas with 6 receivers now.
Lone polecat. Oh.
Yep. They pull the tackles and set them out wide.
We were forewarned about that.
Carolina called a timeout just in time. They used their final timeout. A little trickery up the sleeve of Coach John Mackovic.
Little trick play. They took both tackles and lined them up wide with the ends. They're setting up a double screen wherever the reaction is from the North Carolina defense. North Carolina is not reacting to the formation, and they would have been out there all by themselves. It would have been a big play. Well, they said they had 90 plays and they were going to use them all. This obviously was one of those 90s. Those 90, and we've seen a reverse. We've seen what he called the lone polecat, and I'm sure there's a couple more wrinkles yet to be shown.
Pretty alert, though, of the Carolina defense to put a halt to that play.
They did put a halt to it, but they have used all 3 timeouts now.
Well, women's volleyball championship action tomorrow on CBS, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, UCLA and Stanford.
Just the fact that they lined up in that formation and were trying to run the play. Texas is loose and aggressive, and that's the way you have to be going into these games. The outside.
Brown's pass should have been picked. Standing back there, Sean Boyd read that one all the way.
Curtis Jackson made an out-and-up move on the outside and burned the corner, but he had help over the top. In this situation, the quarterback has to hold on to the ball a little longer. He's looking in one direction because of the pump fake, and allows the safety to come over and make the play. Curtis caught 2 touchdown passes against Baylor on the same exact play.
You said this week that you like the way James Brown can pump fake. He's full of defense.
In the last 2 ball games, there were 4 different touchdown passes that were off of pump fakes.
Well, he faces here does James Brown, 3rd and 10 with 2:30 to go. Looks like a quarterback draw. Brown only about 2 yards, stopping the clock with 2:25.
What was that footwork? Did you see? I'll tell you what.
I thought he might pull a fluke.
This will give coaches a heart attack. First of all, the ball's in the hand, being held loosely. The jitterbug steps, looking to get outside, wants to circle back, decides not to. He's going to backpedal out of bounds. But like I said, he's free and easy and relaxed out on the field. He hasn't made any big mistakes. He had the 1 ball batted for an interception. But as long as you can avoid making turnovers and continue to play that way, he's going to make some big plays.
Ball is fumbled. Bassett's punt. Let's see. Did Wall regain it? Yes. So North Carolina will have the football in the final 2 minutes and change to go here before halftime.
Anytime a punt returner gets run by very closely, I mean, it was 10 yards before he got to the ball, but again, a defender just nearly brushed him running by him, and that disturbs the punt returner. And it ended up with him bobbling the ball, dropping it, but fortunately recovering the ball himself.
Well, Carolina out of timeouts. They're trailing 21-10. 2 minutes, plenty of time for Mike Thomas. Leon Johnson, the tailback. And they'll run with Johnson. Johnson hit by Kevin Watler. But he didn't go down easy. Kevin Watler, number 47 for Texas in his 6th season for the Longhorns.
He's been around. He's had a lot of injury problems, been banged up. He's finally healthy and gets the opportunity to play. They love his athletic ability.
6 seasons, folks, because you redshirt 1 year. Another year you get back because of a medical exemption. Loves the game of college football. He's completed his college degree. There's the pass in the open flat and out of bounds, William Henderson. And a late flag, a late hit. I believe on Tyson King. And that's going to be a big one. That'll move the football into Texas territory.
They're going to be cross midfield. There's still 1:40 to go. Even though they have no timeouts, the clock stops on first down. So there is plenty of time for North Carolina to move the football. On the replay, just a little bit late. His feet are out of bounds, and he finishes the hit. It's a good call. It was close as the linebacker is being very aggressive, but it is a good call.
So that'll advance the football to the Longhorns 43 with 1:42 remaining in the half.
They still have time to mix in the run. They're across midfield, plenty of time. They can still mix run and pass. They don't just have to go to a 2-minute situation.
Screen pass set up for Leon Johnson. He looked for the sidelines and was brought down short of it at the 39.
With no timeouts left, you still have time to go down the middle of the field as long as you're making first downs. When you make first downs, the clock stops, they reset the ball, and then start the clock.
1:18 to go. Thomas in the pocket. Pass caught by Henderson. He should have gotten out of bounds that time.
It was too easy. He should have just stepped out of bounds at the end of the run.
Picked up 20 yards. And he was just a few feet from being out of bounds. So they will stop the clock, though, to move the chains.
Right, we're stopped with 1:11, and they're just going to restart the clock. Mike's got the play called already. He might have wasted 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
From the 19. Middle. Barnes, ball in the air, incomplete. He was walloped, too.
He took a shot. He was dragging across the backside from right to left, and there was no underneath coverage. He had plenty of room to stick the ball in, but Carter is reacting to this now. Early in the game, they caught a couple of balls over the middle. Chris Carter is now being more and more aggressive and coming up and making the big hit. It might be time to take a look to the in route and throw a post over the top.
It was almost a reception and a fumble, but incomplete. The call. Chris Carter and Joey Ellis were the two who popped them. And Norman Watkins was a little shaken up on that play and is removed from the lineup. .104 remaining in the half. Watkins sitting out this play. Looks like he's ready to get back in after this one. 2nd and 10. They run it. They try to surprise Texas. Leon Johnson. What an effort to pick up about 10, and they may have to measure for a first.
It's a nice call, but the clock is running, and they did not get the first down.
Now he's about a half-yard shy. 3rd and less than a yard. 45 seconds clock running. And Henderson plows ahead. That'll stop it. Again, in college football.
The clock stops, so there's no problem in running the ball in short yardage. However, you've got to hustle now. Get the play called, Mike. Get the play called, get set. When they wind the clock, the ball will be snapped.
39 seconds to go. No timeouts for the Tar Heels from the 8.
I don't like that.
That was... why was that necessary?
It really isn't. It's only necessary if you have specific plays that you want to get to and your quarterback's unsure about calling them himself. In this situation, they'd had the first down. The clock was stopped. There was plenty of time to get a play called. When they wind the clock, snap the football, we're off and running. Now you wasted a down. They will still get all 4 downs in. If it was a situation where there were 10 seconds left, maybe do that.
35 seconds. Thomas looking in zone, firing in zone, caught in the end zone, touchdown, Marcus Wall. They drive 74 yards in less than 2 minutes without benefit of a timeout and score a critical touchdown before the intermission.
Texas was trying to get the timeout on defense. They wanted to stop and realign, maybe even change personnel, but didn't get it done in time, and Marcus makes another big play for a touchdown.
Vignetti good on the extra point. Marcus Wall, who scored a North Carolina record 9 touchdown passes this season, catches one here in the Sun Bowl.
Great patience by Mike Thomas, standing, waiting, great protection. Waited, laid it up and over the top. Getting excited, getting a little fired up. They needed that score before the half. 28 seconds to go in the half to cut the lead down to 4 points.
Changes the feel of this game for sure. Marcus Wall, 10th touchdown on the season.
That's a genuine celebration. He's excited. He doesn't know what direction to run in, who to grab, who to hug. Those are the type of celebrations I like to see.
Wall also ran one on a reverse for a touchdown this year and returned a kick. So 12 in all for Marcus Wall, the junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And Mike Thomas in this first half, 15 out of 19, 168 yards, and that touchdown pass.
Looked more like he ran a corner route on the play, and it looked almost like a pick play off of Taji Allen. Taji got caught up, and the ball got up over the top, and he lost a few steps on him. So that's an offensively, we call it a rub. Defensively, they call it a pick.
8-yard touchdown pass for Mike Thomas to Marcus Wall.
Jim Nance and Doug Flutie coming your way from El Paso. Andrea Joyce will be joining us at halftime. Epparelli, the pick for the Tar Heels. And this one angled short and to the right side. Rod Walker to the 30-yard line. 22 seconds to go in the half. Do you try anything fancy here?
I don't know. I would think not. Maybe something safe like a screen or a draw. If you bust one out near midfield, then you can be aggressive and go after it. Knowing James Brown and the way he is, though, the problem that comes in is if you throw the interception or make the mistake here, and the chances of scoring are not real good. But James is a big play guy. You never know.
Got a big target like Lavelle Pinkney, and you can just throw it up high in the air for him.
If you want to do that, send someone downfield, throw it 60 yards. If it's intercepted, it's a punt. So that would be the other option. Going with the screen to the field.
No Texas player on that side.
Roderick Walker got tackled on the play, and they were trying to run a screen to the wide side of the field. He got tackled by a defensive end and never got out there. James did the smart thing and threw the ball away. Although you don't expect that from James. You expect him to pull that ball back under and look to run for 45 yards.
17 seconds to go in the second quarter. Texas 21, North Carolina 17. Brown has hit on only one of his last 6 passes.
Took a little too long there. He was waiting for the motion back. Eric Jackson, actually the wide receiver, coming in motion. A little miscommunication there. He was waiting, and Eric finally went in motion. He couldn't get the ball snapped in time.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
My mistake. Notice how I blame the receiver and not the quarterback.
They're never at fault, are they? John Makovic, a former quarterback at Wake Forest. See if they'll run the football and head to the locker room with the lead. As Priest Holmes wrestled down by Marcus Jones, and Texas will have the lead at halftime. Quite a first half of football.
Not bad, 21-17, a lot of points like we expected.
As exciting as expected. That's the end of the first half with the score. Texas 21, North Carolina 17. Andrea Joyce will be along with halftime activities after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the 1994 Sun Bowl. Today's game is sponsored by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Fixodent, Fixodent and forget it. And by Advil, advanced medicine for pain. No non-prescription pain reliever is proven to last longer than Advil.
Whoever said, into each life some rain must fall, never lived under our shingles. Owens Corning. We make the difference.
It's better.
Not bitter.
Surprise.
Sweet.
Ocean Spray. Ruby Red and Tangerine Grapefruit Juice Drink.
This is grapefruit. It's better.
Not bitter. Surprise. Yeah, it's sweet.
It has to taste like sweet at first and then grapefruit at the end.
Sweet grapefruit and tangerines.
Tangerine?
Wow. It's better.
Much better. Not bitter.
What a surprise.
It's very, very sweet.
It's not any ordinary grapefruit juice.
It's got a sweet grapefruit taste you'll crave. Ruby Red and Tangerine. Crave the wave. Ocean Spray.
This evacuation vehicle is not protected by a 70,000-mile warranty. It's protected by a glass fiber that's stronger than steel. Owens Corning. We make the difference.
This is CBS.
You can count on Chevrolet, and that's what being a Chevrolet dealer is all about. It's a product and a dealer that you can rely on. Reliability is what you get in an S10 extended cab, and it will go anywhere and do anything for an economical price, like $225 a month. If you're a Chevy First Team dealer, genuine Chevrolet means that it is here to stay.
Come home to Texas, come home to genuine Chevrolet.
There's a lot more to Warner Cable than meets the eye. Behind the scenes, we're working day and night to make every aspect of our service as picture-perfect as our programming. 24-hour-a-day entertainment, backed by 24-hour-a-day commitment. What you see is only a small part of what you get. Warner Cable. Better TV, getting better every day.
Introducing the 1995 Town Planner Calendar, touring Texas, sponsored by Channel 11. Each month, you'll take a scenic route through some of the most beautiful places in Texas. Plus, get complete schedules of pro sports and special events. Watch for your free copy in the mail or pick one up at the Channel 11 studios. It's free, informative, and packed with valuable coupons. The Town Planner Calendar, sponsored by Channel 11 in the spirit of Texas. For more information, call 444-5104.
Welcome to halftime of the Sun Bowl. And now, live from El Paso, here's Andrea Joyce.
After 30 minutes of action, our Sun Bowl halftime score, Texas 21, North Carolina 17. And hello, everyone. We sure hope you are enjoying these last few days of 1994. The Sun Bowl is just one of 20 bowls slated for this holiday season. And even as we speak, there is action going on right now down in Atlanta, where Grambling State and South Carolina State are playing each other in the Heritage Bowl. South Carolina State has taken the lead in the fourth quarter, 31-27. Last night at the Copper Bowl in Tucson, it was BYU scoring on its first possession and never looking back, rolling to a 31-6 victory over Oklahoma. Gary Gibbs, in his last game as head coach of the Sooners, had an ugly farewell party. BYU quarterback John Walsh had a big night, passing for 454 yards and 4 touchdowns, including a 25-yard touchdown pass to Mark Johnston to put the Cougars up 17-0 in the second quarter. New Oklahoma head coach Howard Schnellenberger looking on, and then late in the third quarter, Walsh to Johnston again. This a 4-yard touchdown pass. So BYU finishes this season at 10-3, and that's their 10th victory season under Coach Lavelle Edwards. And still to come this weekend, the Orange Bowl, featuring the nation's #1 team, Nebraska, against #3 Miami. And yesterday, Cornhusker head coach Tom Osborne named Tommy Frazier as his starting quarterback. Frazier, sidelined by blood clots since late September, takes over for Brooke Behringer, who was 7-0 as a starter.
We will start Frazier. We'll play both quarterbacks in the ball game. Have no particular preference right now as to who plays the majority of the time. The decision was made basically on the scrimmage we had.
So they really put us through some rugged practice and put a lot of stuff in front of us, and whoever performed the best in those got the starting arm.
I'm ready to play. You know, it's a little bit disappointing. Everybody wants to start, but I'll be ready to play, and I'm prepared to play.
Frazier, who is 20-3 as a starter, will be making his third Orange Bowl start. And a short time ago, the Naval Academy named Utah State's Charlie Weatherby as their new head football coach. Weatherby compiled a 15-19 record over 3 seasons with the Aggies. He replaces George Trump, who was fired from the academy earlier this month. And one other score to pass along to you this afternoon in college basketball. It was number 13 Florida over St. Francis. Dan Cross with 21 points for the Gators. And when we come back, we will take a look at a new formula for crowning a national champion in college football. That story and a whole lot more as we continue live from El Paso here on CBS.
When you were 21, we drank a toast to it.
Yeah.
We did do that. When you were 30, I can't read this. You could boast of it. Now you're 40. Look at there. See? So make the most of it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that clever?
Only one combines power and effortless performance like Fred Couples. Only one blends pinpoint control and the ability to read the terrain like Lee Trevino. Only one personifies endurance like Arnold Palmer. Only one can play like this. Seville STS with the North Star system. The great performers are always creating a higher standard.
Sure, Gold MasterCard has at least a $5,000 credit line, so you can buy all kinds of things, but you can't buy time. Well, I don't know. You could buy plane tickets and fly across 5 time zones, and it'll be even earlier than when you left. You can even go to Switzerland, and that's a great place to buy time. But wherever you go, you won't have to waste your time looking for a great exchange rate, because with MasterCard, a great exchange rate is exactly what you'll get. So I guess Gold MasterCard really can buy you time. Just remember to set your watch back. Watch back. Now, how's that for a useful card? Gold MasterCard. It's more than a gold card. It's smart money.
At 57, I'm still learning. It's what we do all our lives, and it's important to get off to a good start.
At UT Austin, we're preparing Texans of all ages for a life of learning. Outreach projects like Neighborhood Longhorns and the Hispanic Mother-Daughter Program help students across the state.
A good education is like running a race. To finish well, you need a good start.
The University of Texas at Austin, preparing Texans for a life of learning.
Back at the Sun Bowl, North Carolina trailing Texas, and the North Carolina Marching Tar Heels just completing their halftime performance. They are the pride of the ACC, and we want to thank our gracious hosts here at the Sun Bowl for their warm hospitality. Well, it's only happened 28 times in college football history, number 1 playing number 2, and 10 of those meetings were in bowl games, including last year's Florida State-Nebraska Orange Bowl. Well, now a new plan called the Bowl Alliance, which starts next season, will try to make a number 1 versus number 2 national championship game an annual event. This year, under the existing coalition, you won't see a national championship decided head-to-head on the field because of conference ties to the bowls.
I would love to play Nebraska, you know, to see who truly is number 1.
If we beat a team of Miami's caliber in Miami, I don't think there's any way Penn State's going to have a shot at the national title.
The way it is the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be, and then we're going to play Oregon in the Rose Bowl, and that's the only thing I can do anything about.
Next year, the Bowl Alliance takes effect. This agreement sets up a system where a national championship game would be played between the Alliance's 2 top-ranked teams. It also ensures that the 3rd and 5th and 4th and 6th ranked teams face each other, all regardless of conference affiliations. The Fiesta, Orange, and Sugar Bowls would showcase these games on a rotational basis, with the Fiesta hosting the national championship game in an exclusive primetime period on January 2nd. The Sugar Bowl would get at 1 versus 2 the following season, and then the Orange Bowl will have its turn. Although an improvement, this system is still not perfect. The one potential thorn is the Rose Bowl, which will keep to its Big Ten, Pac-10 agreement. So this year, for instance, with Nebraska and Penn State 1 and 2 respectively, the national championship would not be decided on the field. The best the Bowl Alliance could showcase would be 1 versus 3, still arguably a national title matchup, but it does raise questions about how rosy this is.
Any movement towards joining the alliance, I think we have to recognize would change our relationship with the Big Ten and the Pac-10. And at this time, I don't see that happening.
If we produce great football teams and great football games, and it doesn't work for us either because we can't get a national championship named, or because it affects the value, the prestige, and the positioning of the Rose Bowl, maybe we'll have to look at the situation differently in the year 2000. But in short, we favor the bowl system. We are very supportive of this 50-year relationship with the Rose Bowl. We're extremely proud of it.
The NCAA sanctions 79 different collegiate championships, including 1 AA, Division II, and 3 football, as well as basketball and baseball. But its constituents appear to be resisting a Division IA college football playoff.
The Division I playoff committee looked at it, at the possibilities this past summer. The one issue they could not resolve were the concerns that the student athletes had related to increased time involvement, their erosion of their free time, as they talked about.
The season is too long. I mean, you're talking about 14, 15 weeks and then adding 2 or 3 more weeks to it. So we're talking about an NFL schedule almost, 17 weeks, so that's grueling.
It's simple. The 1A members of the NCAA do not want a playoff. They had the opportunity last spring to set one up, and the presidents chose not to do so. You know, there's really no problem. If they want one, we'll get one. You know, everybody else wants one, but the people themselves don't.
College football is built around the excitement of individual programs and the excitement that comes with having good seasons. It has not, at our level, has not been built solely upon having or needing to crown one champion at the end of the year. Many coaches are not in favor of a playoff, and I join that group.
I've been pushing for a playoff for 150 years since I was a kid, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I personally, obviously, would like to see people play each other and win it, just as we do in every other single sport in the NCAA.
Ced Dempsey also told us that during the course of discussions this year about a national playoff system, many coaches were in favor of a 16-team tournament format. But as you can imagine, this topic will likely continue to be debated for years. And when we come back, a literary Longhorn who packs a sharp pen to go with his pads. That story is next as our Sun Bowl halftime continues here on CBS.
When you can trust something and know it'll come through for you, that's everything. One of the things we focused on with the new DeVille Concord was making it reliable. We designed the North Star system so that if it ever lost all of its engine coolant, you'd still be able to drive a DeVille Concord up to 50 miles to safety, even in desert heat. You may never need it, but it'll be there for you. There's a car company that cares enough to give you this kind of dependability. That's my company, Cadillac.
Pringles you got, more from this can than you thought. Fill a bowl from a Pringles can, got as much as this bag, amazing man. Can you believe how much Pringles you got? So pop, the Pringles don't stop, get the great taste you want, not the greasy mess this bag got. Pringles, once you pop, so much more than you ever thought. You can't stop.
I thought going away to college meant I didn't have to answer to anybody anymore. I could stay out all night, tailgate before a game, go to a bar after. One Saturday, we even took our victory celebration on the road. I drove. straight into a drunk driving conviction. Which means that when I get to this question about ever being convicted of a crime, I have to answer yes.
If you're in high school and you want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you can't compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call 319-337-1492.
That's the Texas Longhorn Band, known as the Show Band of the Southwest, celebrating its 94th anniversary. And once again, our halftime score at the Sun Bowl, Texas leading North Carolina 21-17. And a reminder that our CBS Sports postseason college football coverage continues on Monday at 1:30 Eastern Time, January 2nd, with the CarQuest Bowl. South Carolina hooking up with West Virginia at Joe Robbie Stadium. They've been playing football at South Carolina for more than a century. The Gamecocks have played in and lost 8 bowl games. Now with their first winning record since 1990, the streak may finally end.
We'd like to go out winners. This might be the last time a lot of us play. I mean, there's not a lot of seniors on this team, but certainly that's what we want to do, is go out winners and, you know, have that ring for the rest of our life. It's his first ever bowl win.
But the hard-hitting West Virginia Mountaineers are standing in the way. They turned around a 1-4 start with tough defense, paced by Aaron Beasley's 10 steals, the most interceptions by any player in the nation this year.
This bowl is a dream come true for us. We're kind of in a rebuilding year, and yet we found a way to win 7 football games, and we're proud to be going to the CarQuest Bowl.
And CBS Sports is proud to televise the CarQuest Bowl and at halftime to give you the opportunity to match wits against TV's former Mr. Know-It-All.
Hi, I'm Herb Stempel, one of the biggest quiz show winners of all times. Right now, I'm brushing up for one of the biggest quizzes in years. Get ready for the CBS Sports Ultimate College Football Quiz on January 2nd. Even I don't have the answers. Honest.
But we are sure that Herb Stempel knows who made this season's Defensive Play of the Year. He's Texas nose guard Stoney Clark, number 55. He made the key tackle on a 4th down play to preserve a 17-10 victory over Oklahoma.
It's Gerald Moore. James Allen is a wingback to the right. McGee gives it to Allen on the reverse play. He's at the 5. He is hit at the 1. He did not get in. Texas comes up with a huge play. Stoney Clark might have made the tackle of the year for the Longhorns.
Stoney Clark was injured in an automobile accident and is not suited up for Texas today, but this popular poet, author, and rapper has penned a special poem for the occasion.
This week we've had fun, awaiting our day in the sun, at the edge of our state known for cowboys and guns. North Carolina came down. Hopefully they'll leave with a frown. I'm sorry, but I am a Longhorn fan. Our year's been up and down, a lot of flips, a lot of flops. But above all else, the Horns are still on top. I hope your Christmas was great. God only knows how much I ate. I hope your wishes of the holiday season come true. Drink and be merry, keep your resolutions few. The Sun Bowl, CBS, and Stoney Clark wish a Happy New Year to all of you.
And we second Stoney's warm holiday wishes, and thank you for joining us at halftime. Jim Nance and Doug Flutie will be back with the second half of North Carolina and Texas after this message and a word from your local station.
I've been thinking about having my mother move in here. She's old, she needs help, she needs somebody to take care of her, and, you know.
Here?
Yeah.
With us?
Yeah.
Honey, I love your mother. You know I do. And I would love to have your mother come live with us. Where?
Well,
I mean, there's no room.
Well, I was thinking maybe we could add on.
Oh, honey, the money. You can't afford that right now. You got the kids, the cars, their education.
What is
now,
that?
on top of that, we got to look at our retirement. We got to start looking at that very seriously.
But honey, she's my...
We're not getting any younger.
She's my mother.
I just don't see what we could do.
Dad,
Grandma could have my room. Okay?
Weather like this can be very challenging, especially if you're driving in it. But it's easier to handle if you have a Cadillac like the new DeVille. You see, only Cadillac gives you the safety advantage of full-range traction control on every car standard. It helps you maintain traction automatically at any speed, on wet roads or icy ones. There is a company that believes everyone who drives their cars deserves the most safety possible. That's my company, Cadillac.
This is CBS.
Hey, Chevy truck buyer, if you really want to save money, forget the big city and head to Hempstead, to Lawrence Marshall, where you'll find low Marshall discount prices on every 95 Chevy truck in our giant inventory. We sell for less and we treat folks right. That's right, one of America's largest dealers, Lawrence Marshall, sells them all for less every day. So head out 290 to Hempstead, to Lawrence Marshall. We clobber big city prices.
The Memphis Harlem Globetrotters welcome you to the show. See these amazing athletes do the impossible. Watch this. Keep your eyes. Don't miss the world's greatest basketball show and see things you've never seen before. For the best in family entertainment, experience the fabulous Harlem Globetrotters. Brought to you by Sportstown, America's sports headquarters, on Friday, January 27th, 7:30 p.m. at the Summit. Tickets on sale at the Summit and Ticketmaster.
See what happens when you demand better.
David Letterman moves to 10:35 Monday.
CBS Sports presents the 1994 Sun Bowl. Today's game is sponsored by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. And by MasterCard. It's more than a credit card, it's smart money.
And we welcome you back to beautiful El Paso. Barren beauty, rugged beauty, surrounding the Sun Bowl Stadium, and great to have you back with us, Jim Nantz and Doug Flutie here from the Sun Bowl. 21-17, Texas leading at halftime, and both offenses really moving the football.
They really have. In fact, North Carolina's run more plays for more yardage. Obviously, the big turnover for the touchdown helped Texas. The real curious thing is that James Brown, a 69% passer during the season, is only 47% today. Mike Thomas, on the other hand, who was the 47% passer, has thrown for nearly 80% today. But the difference in the game so far is that turnover for a touchdown.
That play, a recovery, and a touchdown by Norman Watkins, helping Texas to this first half lead of 21-17. And let's take a look at some of the statistics from the first half. Each team turned it over once. You saw the Carolina turnover. Texas with James Brown getting picked off early in the game.
But that only led to the missed field goal, so there were no points resulting out of that. And Texas winds up with the 7 points off the turnover. North Carolina, even though they have more offense than Texas, is fortunate that they did get the touchdown before the half to cut an 11-point lead down the floor.
It's almost 500 yards of total offense with these two teams combined. Carolina's had a lot more plays to run, execute.
They really have. They've controlled the football, and they move it up and down the field. Texas, on the other hand, when they do draw, move the ball and score points, it's in a hurry, it's big plays, it's chunks at a time, so they don't necessarily run as many plays.
Well, we have some holiday greetings to extend to you from Johnson & Johnson out of the backfield of North Carolina. So let's check it out.
I'm Leon Johnson. I'm Curtis Johnson. We split time at tailback, so we thought we'd split this greeting. At the University of North Carolina, we'd like to wish you a Happy New Year's and have a safe New Year's.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate those sentiments.
It's amazing to me that they are so relaxed about shuttling in and out the way they are. Two guys that had 1,000 yards last year, and then this year splitting time again, and they're just very relaxed about their roles on their team.
Texas at halftime under Makovic, 16-0 when leading at the intermission. So after quite a halftime show here in El Paso, the Longhorns ready to tangle here in the third quarter, where they've really had the best of it this season.
This is their quarter. This is the quarter that they've been very explosive throughout the season. North Carolina is usually a second quarter team, and they did not make it happen in the second quarter. So an opportunity maybe Texas may pull away a little bit here.
So the second half about to start at the second oldest bowl game in the business. Caparelli will kick to the Longhorns. Texas trying to close its year 8-4, while North Carolina trying to move in on a possible top 10 ranking with a victory today. They would be 9-3.
You look at the flags, they're blowing from our right to left, which would infer that Texas has the wind at their back. But at halftime, when the bands were on the field, the wind on the field was blowing the opposite direction.
Mike Thomas off of a big first half.
And they did have two drives where Jason was in there, and maybe those drives, if Mike had stayed in the ballgame, they'd have an opportunity to have the lead right now the way he's been playing.
Rod Walker unable to really make anything of the return. Another high short kick. Mike Morton on the tackle. Texas to start from the 27. Let's again check the numbers. Brown, 7 out of 15 in the first half for 125 yards.
Yeah, not really a good percentage for him, but the yards per reception, I mean, that's about 17 yards per catch, so he's doing all right there.
Brown left side to Pinckney. And a gain of about 4. Pinckney, a junior, and there's a lot of talk that he could possibly leave school early, and with that size and all the ability he has shown in his career, he could be a high draft pick. What do you think the future is?
Definite opportunity for him. His high school coach is down here, though. He's trying to talk him into sticking around for another year and finishing that education, which is so important.
Pinckney's second catch of the game. 2 tight ends. As Fitzgerald now shifts to a wing on the right. And again another whistle. Now march it off against Texas.
Texas does a lot of audibilizing.
Delay a game. Offense.
In their 2 tight end set, when they're in their running attack, there they were trying to motion the other tight end across the formation to run the ball to the weak side of the defense, and they ran out of time.
2nd and 11 for the Longhorns.
2nd and 15 from the 27.
Trouble. Brown finds a man. Fitzgerald across the middle. Those improvisational skills of Brown coming through for a gain on that play when it looked like he could be dropped for a big loss.
He really, that's just pure athletic ability. He got in trouble right away from pressure. Gave ground. Was looking to scramble, was getting pretty much caught up. And what you would say is a dangerous throw, throws back into the middle of the field, but he's very confident in his abilities, and he wouldn't throw it if he didn't believe he had a legitimate opportunity.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Longhorns from their 35. Out of the eye and running right. Brown will tuck it under and tackled very close to the first down. Mock and Morton collided with the quarterback, and he's short of the first. He's less than a yard shy of a first down.
Showed a little toughness there, putting his head down, trying to split 2 linebackers to get to the first down marker. Comes up a little short. North Carolina's going to get their opportunity.
John Makovic gambled on 4th and goal from the 1 in the first half and got a touchdown, but no reason to try anything risky at this end of the field.
Not their own end of the field, not at this point in the game.
Ryan Fieberger will snap it back to Vasic. Fieberger's brother is a junior tight end for Texas Tech. He will be in the Cotton Bowl here in a couple of days. Good snap. Well done. And Vasic's punt bouncing around. Might make it inside the 20. And rule it down at the 19.
At the 19-yard line.
So Texas 3 plays and out on that series, which is an oddity today.
48-yard kick.
And again, at the start of this game, you felt that North Carolina was much more all-business approach to this game than Texas, who you viewed as a team trying to kind of experience the great feeling of a rewarding opportunity in a bowl game.
No question about it. And I think it reflects in their attitudes on the field, the way they're playing the game. Texas has been nice, loose, and relaxed. They're the guys that have run the trick plays. They're the guys that are flying around and throwing off their back foot and having fun out there.
William Henderson, that's 1 yard, runs into Norman Watkins and Tyson King. He's having a big day, Norman Watkins.
Number 50, Tyson King. And number 90, Thomas Basket in on the stop.
5 quarterback sacks on the season, but a touchdown today on a fumble recovery. Call it second down and 9. Watkins has 6 tackles also, by the way. Reverse. Here comes Marcus Wall. Wall with a blocker in front. Gets to the 30. To the 40. Breaks the tackle. And finally, well, no fumble. They rule him down. It'll be Carolina football at the 50.
I think they're ruling it down.
Yes.
He doesn't quit. He just will not quit. I thought he was going out of bounds after about a 20-yard game, but he just won't quit. Coming from the top of the screen, Marcus Wall. He's going to come in motion, come around for the reverse. We get a downfield block, and Mike Hoggood, the right guard, is going to pull out, swing around, and seal it for him. We've seen this play earlier in the year against Duke where he threw for a touchdown, so Marcus Wall has great athletic ability.
That happened in their last game, in fact, against Duke, and Wall connected with Barnes. Wall's already made a couple of big plays today, including a touchdown grab.
He just really amazes me with his size. I mean, 163 pounds, breaking tackles, not afraid to run in traffic, spinning off people, just keeps the legs going. Great effort.
That is Tony Brackens down on the field and now being helped to the Longhorn sideline. What a tremendous player he has been for Texas in his 2 seasons. And we hate to see the season end like this, and let's hope it's not serious. Brackens really,
he just pulled up on his own.
Yeah, the shoe just grabbed into that surface. And
this is a new AstroTurf. It was replaced last year, and it is sticky out there. And it's a dry day, so the grip. And he does appear to have real turf shoes on instead of a lot of guys wear sneakers on this type of surface that is real grippy.
Brian Vasic has replaced him on the defensive line. First down for North Carolina from the 50. Leon Johnson breaks the tackle, gets outside, and down at the 44. Haji Allen over on that corner, bring him down.
A nice stiff arm in the backfield coming. He's a big, strong runner. Stands upright, sees the whole field. He's looking to the next guy. He's not worried about the guy trying to tackle him right now. He's just going to go by that guy, and he's looking downfield for his next move.
Sophomore with 60 yards already in this game. Darren Ashford has come in at a wide receiver position for North Carolina. They have 3 in there at the 44-yard line. Johnson up the middle. Johnson about a yard shy of a first down.
Darren Ash, he was banged up coming in today, wasn't he?
He was not expected to see much action, and he really hasn't so far. It'll be 3rd and 1, and Leon Johnson comes out of the game. Ashford back to the sideline as well.
Of course, it was a running play. Maybe they were just trying to get him in the ballgame.
Curtis Johnson and Malcolm Marshall, the running backs, on 3rd and a yard. Johnson leans forward for the first down. He scored the first touchdown of this game from 11 yards out. Curtis Johnson, junior from Greensboro, member of the track team and quite a standout sprinter for North Carolina.
The officials are calling for a measurement.
Check out his eyes and the focus on Curtis Johnson. Curtis, this gets strung out pretty good, and at the last second he takes a north-south cut and slips between two linebackers, and Kyle Richardson just misses him, slips in for the first down.
They actually
they're measuring.
Yeah, they haven't given it to him yet. And the spot right on the 40.
Big, strong tailbacks for North Carolina. This is going to be fun.
Mike Thomas looking down, and about a chain link short. Hello.
Short by a couple of chain links.
Well, they're going to go for it.
Oh, yeah. Good decision to go for it here. I mean, you're on the edge of field goal range. You can't really kick a field goal going into this win. It'd be like a 57-yarder. You punt the ball. You may get 20, 30 yards net out of it. You have to try to score some points here.
They've already, one time today, converted on fourth down. That was also at this end of the field, and Leon Johnson picked up the yardage. Now, full house basket.
I don't think so.
It's close. Texas defense says we've held them. Chris Akins in the middle, plug the middle, and the signal short. Texas football.
The defensive line for Texas is back. Big play in the ball game. Baskin, Aiken, all up the middle.
Curtis Johnson carried it. Watch it, Doug.
There's really nowhere to go. He's a north-south runner. He's looking for a little crease, anything, absolutely nothing. No way he's going to get that first down. Max a little concerned about that one.
He trails 21-17 in the third. Look at these beautiful blue skies over El Paso. Sun Bowl, 21-17 Texas, taking over after stopping them on downs at the 40-yard line. Brown. Tackled at the 44-yard line. Some thought that maybe Carolina picked up the first down on its third down try, but Doug, when you take another look at it, you tell me what you think.
It looks like he's got the ball in his right arm, and his right elbow lands right on the line. So I think it's a pretty good mark. It's right at it. The ball is behind his body there, probably marked right on the line, which is where they spotted the ball. Good call.
By the way, we hear now from the Texas bench that Tony Brackens sprained an ankle and possibly could return. So good news for Texas. 2nd and 5. And Rod Walker stuffed after a yard gain. Eddie Mason got to him first.
37, Eddie Mason.
Texas has already rushed for as many yards as North Carolina lets up on the average per game.
Priest Holmes getting the bulk of the Texas yardage on the ground. John Magovic definitely likes to keep the ball in the air.
Yeah, they like to throw the ball. They just try to keep teams honest by running the football. They like to move the ball through the air.
Third down, 3rd and 4. Great time. Brown looking for an open man. Over the top and incomplete.
Brown's pass is incomplete. Intended for number 9, Eric Jackson. 47, Fuzzy Lee of the coverage.
Hey, great pass protection, and Blake Brockemeyer, the man on the left side. Look at the time he's given his quarterback. Definite pro prospect. Projected possibly as a first rounder if he comes out this year. James showed good patience on that, though. He hung on the ball. I would have liked to have seen him take off with it, though, and use his legs a little more.
Second straight series, Texas is 3 downs and out. Another boot that will not be fielded by North Carolina. 8:50 remaining in the third quarter. No scoring so far in the second half. And Texas leads it here 21-17. North Carolina and Texas meeting for the first time since right here, 1982, when they tangled on Christmas Day. Carolina won it back then, 26-10, but Texas leads in this one. Jim Nance with Doug Flutie and Andrea Joyce as well. Glad to have you here. Thomas running out. What a pass. Barnes makes the catch on the right sideline at the 43-yard line.
Great throw. Deep comeback on the sideline. Puts the ball over the strong safety's head and underneath the corner.
17 yards on this one.
And he stayed on the dead run to throw it. He was running right into a defender. I mean, it's great form, but it's tough to do.
Shea Marenz warming up on the Texas sideline. Texas, on its last 4 offensive possessions, has had the punt 3 times, and the half ran out the other possession. So maybe a change coming on their next series. Thomas on play action, going long for Wall, and he overthrew him. Bryant Westbrook was right with him, though, step for step.
27, Joey Ellis coming off the corner again with a corner blitz. They're really mixing up what they're doing in the secondary. Going back to Shea Marenz, last year as a freshman had 13 touchdowns, which was a freshman record, 13 touchdown passes. And both coaches said they did not want to play quarterback shuffle, bring guys in, pull guys out for making mistakes. But if they get in a situation, they really believe in him. Big, strong-arm kid, and he can get the job done for him.
2nd and 10. Thomas looks out into the flat. Was that a pass? Okay, incomplete. Got to be a little careful. That was almost a lateral.
He's looking upfield, and he decides to drop it off, and the ball gets dropped, and he's trying to make a play. We want to get some points, and he's a little frustrated on that one. It's just when you have an opportunity to make a play. Actually, he made, I thought, a bad decision in going there in the first place, but then he did put a nice touch on the ball and got it to Curtis, but the ball was dropped.
Leon Johnson, the tailback. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for North Carolina. Looking for Barnes. He was bumped. Is there a flag? No. North Carolina forced to punt. Barnes says, hey, keep your hands off.
There was a little touching going on, little push, little bump here and there, but I don't think this should have, this is nothing that should be called. It's good coverage on Joey Ellis's part. He's their best man-to-man DB, and he stayed with them all the way.
For 15, Mike Thomas.
So Mike Thomas drops back now in the punt formation.
You got to learn what you can get away with. The little pushes, the little nudges.
Carter will run it back from the 11. Carter breaks 1 tackle and then brought down at the 18 by the snapper, Todd Phillips. 46-yard punt by Thomas. Texas come out on the field with a new quarterback.
65, Todd Phillips made the tackle.
Nope. Well, Coach John Mackovic has decided now to stay with James Brown. Shea Marenz continues to warm up on the Texas sideline. Brown is 3 out of his last 9 for 28 yards. Texas leading 21-17. Priest Holmes for about 6. Kerry Mock makes the hit at the 24.
James Brown may have gotten away with a little something there. He was pulling out from under center a little early, hung in there, kept his feet on the ground, I guess, and no procedure call was made.
5-yard line, gain of 7 on the play.
Must have been some adjustments by both defensive coordinators at the half.
We're starting to shut them down a little. I think that as you get into the game, people start thinking about the importance of it a little more, and they tighten up just a bit.
2nd, and we'll call it 3. Juan Kemp is in the backfield for Texas. Brown goes left side. Pinckney reaches up and grabs it for a first down.
Number 80, Lavelle Pinckney, tackled immediately at the 31-yard line.
Big, strong hand receiver pulling the ball in. And James has said that he doesn't mind if Pinckney's covered. He'll throw the ball up for him. And the amazing thing is that the North Carolina pass rush has not been in his face that often. And Marcus Jones is the guy that you expect to make a few plays for loss, tackles for losses, a couple of sacks. And we haven't really called his name much today.
He had 7.5 sacks on the season. First down, Texas. Priest Holmes gets to the corner and across to the 36-yard line, across the 35. He's on pace for a 100-yard game here today.
Texas is starting to run the football. Makovic likes to throw the ball, and so does James Brown especially. And they are putting the ball on the ground. That's 11 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Priest is having himself a heck of a day.
Holmes again with good yardage to the 47. Give him 10. 10 yards.
Picks up a first down at the 47-yard line.
Marcus Jones comes upfield, tries to close down. They just log him, and he bounces outside of Marcus and cuts up inside.
Number 58, Mike Morton.
Corby Brooks with the big trap blocker actually pulling. And if he closes down that hard, you can't kick him out. He's trying to root him out, but instead you take the outside shoulder, hook him, and allow the back to get to the outside.
Corby Brooks, the son of Leo Brooks, who was an All-Southwest Conference tackle on the '69 championship team. First down, pass play, Fitzgerald into North Carolina territory.
The number 81, Pat Fitzgerald.
Pat Fitzgerald caught 12 balls on the season, and he's already snared 4 today. He's been very much a part of this Longhorn attack.
I like what they're doing right now. James Brown's throwing the shorter ball. He threw the quick out to Pinckney, the flat route to Fitzgerald. He's getting his confidence back. He's throwing some short, safe passes right now to try to move the football.
Second down and 2. Walker near a first down.
Walker, number 3, carries to the 43-yard line. 58, Mike Morton made the stop.
And it is a first.
This time on the counter play, Eddie Mason came upfield. They did get the kick-out block. Get the kick-out block. This time he goes up inside of it. Same play. And took it inside instead of outside this time.
Look at Eddie Mason, who had a interception in the first quarter of this game. North Carolina's 3 starting linebackers all playing their final game in the North Carolina uniform today, all seniors. First and 10. Rod Walker again. And hit by one of the other linebackers, Mike Morton of the 3M company.
Mike Morton makes the tackle.
Morton, Mock, and Mason sounds like a law firm there in the linebacker corps for North Carolina. That's 26 rushes and 20 passes for Texas. They're running the football.
Mock, Morton, and Mason, the coaches were telling us, all 3 linebackers put on about 40 pounds during their career and had standout careers with the Tar Heels as they saw this program turn around during their era. Morton with 8 tackles. There's James Brown in the pocket. Is there going to be a flag? Yes, indeed. 3 of them, in fact. Sean Boyd on the back of Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald started to the flat, ran what we call either a delay or a swirl route. Started to the flat, swung it around and came back into the middle. And James Brown was a little late with the throw. I think he had him right away, hesitated, then threw it, and definitely interference on the play. Boyd had a hand in there pulling on the jersey.
The ball was real catchable because the receiver was held. That's what kept him from the ball. Pass interference, the defense, first down.
Had to explain himself there. It's a personal opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, he read it all right out of the book. That's a thorough explanation of pass interference on that one.
Boyd's not too happy with the call. It was actually pretty decent coverage on the play. But he did pull him late.
Priest Holmes returns to the Texas backfield, and they'll operate now from the 33. No scoring in this third quarter. Texas leads 21-17.
Reverse pass.
Curtis Jackson looking downfield, fires it to Pinckney, who came back for it, incomplete.
Curtis Jackson's pass intended for number 80, Lavelle Pinckney, is incomplete. Number 37, Eddie Mason.
Fuzzy Lee stayed with Pinckney all the way. He saw the run play. Here we come on the reverse. We're going to take Pinckney down, start to the post, go back to the corner. Fuzzy Lee stays with him all the way. He's not fooled. Little sales job going on there by Lavelle, just trying to trot, half speed, try to fool him. Fuzzy says no way. Just missed coming back for the ball, though.
Pretty close.
See if he can get to it. See if he got his hands on this. Had a chance. Fuzzy was pulling on him a little bit.
There was a little exchange of some pushing arm tugs, but here's Holmes running for more yardage near the 25-yard line.
Again, that counter play. This time they get outside on it. Defensive end closes it down. They log out and around. Priest Holmes using quick feet, little dip, and bounce to the outside.
Holmes total rushing now, 96 yards.
A lot of times a back has to set up those blocks. A back has to read the blocks. He can make his offensive line look good or bad.
3rd and 2. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Holmes gets the call. He'll lose yardage this time. In fact, about 4 yards back of the line of scrimmage, Marcus Jones makes the big hit.
Here comes Marcus. He gets up the field nicely here.
Loss of 5 to the 30-yard line.
Closes it down. They try to log him, try to kick him out. Can't do either. Makes the play.
Correction, 4th down.
It's 4th down, and Texas still has its offensive unit on the field. 4th and 7 from the 30. I guess with these swirling wind conditions, they'll bypass a 47-yard field goal try. Brown skips over the pocket. Pass incomplete. Pressure from Marcus Jones.
Roderick Walker reacted and spun upfield, and they had a chance late. Again, he's shown his athletic ability getting away from a tremendous pass rush. 4th and 7, this is the area of the field that out of field goal range. Should you go for it? Should you kick? What do you do? Good push upfield. Flushes them out of the pocket. Again, you see that athletic ability, though.
That ball, after it left the hands, was actually just tipped. Here's North Carolina taking over with Leon Johnson. Hey, Doug, that pass by Brown as he was flushed out of the pocket may have been tipped. Right there.
It was tipped. He does throw the ball. I was kind of surprised to see the ball go into the ground. He throws the ball extremely well on the run and off balance. And kind of comforting to know that the ball was deflected or tipped and not that it was just a poor throw.
He had a man open, but Rick Terry was the one who got a hand on it. And we hear that Texas has Tony Brackens. We see him out there now, back in the...
Here we go again with the 8-man front. The defensive backs get involved in the front. Audible eyes usually throw the ball quickly.
One downfield, looking for Wall, and he was open. Had a step on Taji Allen.
He blocked that up very well. He waited, had a Marcus Wall in a post pattern, no help from the free safety, just a step out of his reach. Again, the key is pass protection. When you're facing an 8-man front, the pocket is going to close down on you. A lot of times you want to go to a quick 3-step drop and get rid of the ball. Here he's trying to jump up and see. See, he's 6'3", he's got to jump up and down to see what's going on downfield.
So it's not just the little guys.
Yeah. Okay, I have to jump a little higher to see what's going on.
3rd and 7. Thomas fires it to Wall, and he has the first down to 44. Gain of 11.
Number
6 catches today for Wall for 70 yards and a touchdown. South Carolina and West Virginia coming your way. The CarQuest Bowl Monday, January 2nd, right here, CBS at 1:30 Eastern Time. Lundquist and Dan Fouts will be there for you. From the 44. Leon Johnson, a tailback. Nope, they're going to run it or throw it. And here it is, complete again to Wall. Wall bouncing around in Texas territory at the Texas 44.
That's a play where they send Leon Johnson out in the flat. They dump the ball to him. Had a couple of touchdowns against Baylor on the same exact play, but then they come off that read to Marcus Wall coming underneath. They also have another play off that same exact look where the fullback will slip out the backside and try to make a big play out of it going deep.
Now they run it with Leon, who was stripped of the football. Actually, that was Curtis Johnson. Carolina says we have it, and they do maintain possession. Joey Ellis stripped it, and the ball was recovered by North Carolina.
They're doing more with their corners, coming off the corner blitz, gets in there, strips the ball loose. Joey Ellis has been involved in the front all day. Here he's not lined up in the front, but he's still coming.
Raj Ferguson on the recovery. And 2 Texas players tangled and getting some assistance. One is Joey Ellis. And I believe it's Tony Brackens again. And with a timeout on the field, 1:18 to go, third quarter, we'll take a timeout with them. Carolina driving, trailing by 4. Doug, what happened here?
Well, Joey Ellis is coming in to make the play. Keep your eye on Akins right here and his knee down in this area. Joey Ellis goes for the tackle, rolls right into the side of the knee. Ouch.
Both players, though, left the field under their own power and looked as though they may return in this game. Tim Warfield has come in along with Ryan Westbrook. And quite a stick right there. Right away by Tim Warfield. Malcolm Marshall was the ball carrier. Warfield, the sophomore from Grapeland, Texas, replaces Akins and makes the big play right away.
97, Tim Warfield made the tackle.
On the backside in the secondary, now that Ellis went down, Westbrook jumped over to the left corner and Taji Allen back in at the right corner.
3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line.
3rd down and 6 from the Texas 40. Last minute of the 3rd quarter. Leon Johnson, not enough for the first. Tyson King was guarding that side. North Carolina's gone for it on 4th down in this area a couple times already today. And it looks as though they'll do it again.
Like we said, I think the wind is a major factor in that decision.
Now a change of mind by Mac Brown, and they bring on the punting unit. Chris Carter inching in. He doesn't want to field anything too deep.
Nice touch.
Thomas's kick. Nope, flies into the end zone. So Texas will take the touch back at the 20. Tomorrow on CBS, here's our lineup. We'll have the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. UCLA takes on Stanford to decide the title. That game from Austin, Texas, by the way, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll be hosted by Michelle Tafoya and Maria Barnes. And then join CBS Sports for a cross-state clash. Number 1 ranked Lady Volunteers take on the number 8 ranked Vanderbilt team. That's tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. Sean McDonough and Ann Myers. James Brown still in at quarterback. Priest Holmes will have his 100 yards with that run, I believe. 9 yards out to the 29. Right on the number. 15 carries, 100 yards for Priest Holmes, who, as Doug explained in the first half, opened the season with 3 straight 100-yard games, and then was just a little too banged up and beat up from all of the attempts. Didn't have another one until today.
He has 15 carries already.
That's the end of the third quarter. Texas leads at 21-17, and CBS Sports coverage of the 1994 Sun Bowl will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the 1994 Sun Bowl. Today's game is sponsored by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Contact day and night. Relieve your cold symptoms with the right medicine at the right time. And by Siemens. Depend on Siemens Precision Painting.
Well, 61 years of a proud tradition. The Sun Bowl in El Paso. We start the final quarter. And they have a new attendance record here in El Paso today. Rod Walker gets the handoff on 2nd and short, picks up the necessary yardage. That new attendance figure, all-time record at the Sun Bowl, 50,000 plus. So congratulations to all the many people, wonderful people here who worked so hard on making this really one of the most enjoyable events of the whole year for us at CBS. A lot of friends have taken great care of us through 27 years of broadcasting this game. First down and 10 for Texas. Priest Holmes shakes the tackle and moves ahead for about 6.
Tell you what, they've really settled into both trying to run the football. It was 21-17 at half. It's 21-17 going into the fourth. And what was an offensive showing in the first half has become a defensive struggle in the second half.
Priest Holmes, he's been Texas's outstanding performer on offense today for sure. 2nd and 4. Gerard Coleman has come in and running back for Texas. Right side. Eric Jackson couldn't hold on to it. Terry Phillips defending.
Just one-on-one coverage out there.
Eric Jackson, the leading receiver on the season for Texas, has not caught a ball today.
Not a well-thrown ball by James Brown. He had a chance to set his feet and fire. He did have Eric Jackson open. Threw the ball a little high and behind him on that play.
Eric averaged almost 18 yards per catch this season and scored 8 touchdowns. And there's another receiver, Curtis Jackson, as they'll face 3rd and 4. James Brown, receiver bumped as that pass came across the middle. Wow. Curtis Jackson was floored, but no flag.
No flag on the play. Sean Boyd just came flying up and decides he's going down. And maybe it was an uncatchable ball. I'm not sure. Oh, was it tipped? That's why. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. You see the umpire there slapping his hands together. It was a tipped ball. That's why there was no interference call.
Wall back to receive the punt. Swirling. Let's see how far Vasek can boot it. Low liner. Wall fields it, 18-yard line. Has a head start on everybody. Shakes free the first wave. Look out. He's at the 40. Blocker in front. He should go all the way. Marcus Wall with the touchdown, and North Carolina moves in front.
Just makes one big play after another.
A Sun Bowl record 82-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Eddie, number 19, to attempt the extra point.
24-21, Tar Heels on an electrifying, record-setting punt return.
Look at the cushion he has. The punt out-kicks the coverage. Coverage hasn't even reached here yet. He's got 20 yards to take a look, take a peek, and start upfield. Number 2, Omar Brown, gets a nice block on the play, and the rest is just Marcus Wall at 165 pounds. Steps through tackles and takes off. Gotta love when guys under 6 foot make big plays.
This is the first game of his career that he's returned punts, and he's run one back for a touchdown to give the Heels the lead. Marcus Wall had run a kickback this year, a kick return for a touchdown, but had never fielded a punt in his career at Carolina until today. His first one ever is an 82-yard touchdown.
It's amazing. He gets an 82-yard touchdown, but it was very close to turning into a clip and being called back. Timmy Smith, number 42, had an opportunity to throw a block, kind of pulled off it, and it could have been called a clip. It wasn't. Turns into an 82-yard touchdown.
Scott Caparelli will kick as the Tar Heels have come back from 21-10 down to take the lead, 24-21. Still have almost the entire fourth quarter remaining. Short boot to Curtis Jackson. Makes it to the 29. Omar Brown on the hit. You were talking about a possible clip and how close it was to calling back.
Number 42, Timmy Smith, right here with the block. I don't know. I think you got to call that one. Let the flag, even though he pulled off, I think you still have to. There he goes. That's a kickoff return. He makes the tackle on the kickoff. So he's pretty active right now. He's a big part of this North Carolina team right now that just took the lead 24-21. You know, part of the reason that ball was returned was the big cushion, and part of that was the wind blowing the ball downfield and out kicking your coverage.
Texas on first down goes with Priest Holmes, drives for about 4.
Oh, number 42 is Ronald Thomas, not Tim Smith. Ronald Thomas. And again, 2 big plays in a row where he was right in the middle of things.
110 yards rushing on the day for Priest Holmes. Texas now will have to battle back from behind. 2nd and 6. Texas with 4 first downs in the second half. On the run, Brown's pass. Too strong and out of reach for Pinckney.
These are balls that James Brown over the last couple of weeks has just been very relaxed, snapped off a nice easy throw and stuck it on the money. Today he's been a little bit off the mark. It's 11 of 24 now. Guy that was completing near 70%, well below the 50% mark right now.
3rd down for Texas. 3rd and 6.
I'd like to see him move around a little and try to use his legs a little bit and get himself back into the rhythm.
Movement. And Texas celebrates as Greg Black appeared to jump across.
Dead ball, contact, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Greg Black came back and had a big season for North Carolina. Coach Mack Brown says he's the team clown, keeps everybody loose. He could be a stand-up comic one day. Does a terrific imitation of the head coach.
Didn't take him very long to start making cracks at me either when I was walking on the sideline the other day in practice. Took him about 2 seconds to spot me.
3rd and 1. Straight ahead. I don't think they got it.
Loose.
We'll see. Carolina says, yes, we have it.
It's Sean Boyd.
Marcus Jones popped it free. I'm still waiting for a signal. And they say the ball carrier So once, yes, fourth down. So they're giving Texas possession of the ball, but short of the first.
It's find the ball and find his knee. You see the ball drop out of the bottom, and it's a matter of whether he's down or not. Where is the knee?
No need on the play. Fourth down.
Can't really see it there either, but it was such a pile up. It looked like his knee was on the ground, and the ball did squirt loose.
All right, Wall drops back. Third time in this half, Texas has had it 3 plays and had the punt. Good boot this time. Wall walks away from it. And it settles at about the 19.
It's down at the 20-yard line.
Still.
The wind. The wind is blowing this ball. Here we go.
Hasn't been ruled down yet.
Somebody ought to go over there and fall on it real quick for North Carolina.
Hey, this is going all the way down unless it finds the out-of-bounds stripe. How about that?
All right.
Let's pad the average, and let's back them up now inside of the 10. Those Texas winds coming into play.
That's the reason he let the ball hit the ground. The ball was deep enough the field. It was just blowing all over the place, and you don't want to take a chance on fumbling the punt and creating a big turnover.
There's one official, though, who says the ball was touched at the 21. Could be a spoil sport for the Longhorns, who had that home Texas wind advantage. Yeah, they're going to rule it down at the 21, so that's a break for Carolina. And let's go down quickly to Andrea Joyce.
All right, Jim, you know, it's almost a small miracle that Lavelle Pinckney is even playing football for Texas. He, as a kid, got mixed up in drugs with the wrong crowd, but his high school football coach, Willie Stewart, helped straighten him out. What does it mean to you to see how far he's come?
Well, Lavelle, as a teenager, was involved in some things he hadn't been involved in, but he's done a 360-degree turn. He's doing quite well now, so our staff and I came down trying to convince him to stay in school next year because he's been contemplating going into the National Football League.
Well, now our announcers, Doug Flutie and Jim Nance, have been talking about that, about the speculation that he's going to turn pro. What have you told him?
Well, we told him basically he can wait one more year and get an opportunity to play in all the All-Star games next year, be able to attend the combine, work out.
You get the sense he's going to listen to you?
Well, we hope so. I'm going to stand with me, so we're going to jump on if we have to.
Well, whatever he decides, we know that your words have had a profound impact on Lavelle and so many other kids in the D.C. area, and we thank you for that. Back to you guys.
Well, a 22-yard run by Curtis Johnson advances the football out to the 44-yard line.
Picks up a couple of great blocks. Number 30, Malcolm Marshall. Number 61, Mike Hallgood. Make the block, clear the way. Curtis is off and running. Again, it's that counter play, and the backs are setting up the blocks very nicely.
67 yards rushing for Johnson in this game. And a touchdown. Curtis again, left side for about 3. Kyle Richardson met him at the 47. 10:30 remaining in this game. North Carolina leading 24-21.
Looks like North Carolina might be getting into a little rhythm with their running attack right now.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7.
It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 47. Leon Johnson this time moves it into Texas territory. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Tar Heels. 72 yards for Leon Johnson. So Johnson and Johnson, similar numbers again today.
They have 183 yards now on the ground. They average, what, 220 something. So they're right on pace. They've got a 4.4 yards per carry average so far today. So that's good running. That's good, solid power football. Texas is still going to that 8-man front, though, to try to stop the run. Not in this formation, though.
Ball at 3rd and 4. Big play for the Texas defense. Thomas with time over the top. Barnes has it. Barnes inside the 20. Barnes into the end zone for another Carolina touchdown.
went for the interception. He thought he had the ball in his grasp, just comes up short. Great throw by Mike. Mike Thomas puts the ball on the money, and we're in the end zone, and Carolina's pulling away.
50-yard strike to Octavius Barnes. On a 3rd and 4 play, and Carolina is in front by 10.
Bottom of your screen, right here, we're going to go down. We get the post, not that flat, but upfield. He's going to the post. He's one-on-one with Brian Westbrook. Fits inside of him right away. Good release. He stemmed him to the outside and slipped him to the inside. Got in good position. Just a great throw by Mike Thomas.
North Carolina with 3 unanswered touchdowns. Moves in front by 10.
Let's go for the throw now. What's up, Bob? How you doing? Down to buddies, Grandma. What's up?
He'll be wearing number 50 for Coach Dean Smith here in the next week as he moves over to the Carolina basketball team. And that number 50 just came into play a moment ago. A 50-yard touchdown reception to put North Carolina in front 31-21. He was reminded during that timeout, as were other Tar Heels, to remember the Duke game where the Blue Devils made a late run at him.
Here's Westbrook really not going for the interception, but he cut underneath to go for the ball rather than playing it safe and making the tackle on the catch. He thought he could get to the football. Obviously not. But yeah, on the sideline, they're talking last game against Duke. Duke bounced back to take the lead. And although North Carolina did win the game, they don't want that to happen here. They want to pull away and put this Texas team away.
Jackson backpedals to the 11. At the middle of the field and twisted down to the 32. Wendell Camp made the tackle. All right, Texas at 63 points against Baylor in its last regular season game. But they have not really moved the football in the second half. Only 4 first downs. I thought they might make a change at quarterback here. They're going to stay with James Brown.
He has that ability to be explosive, and it's just in the second half he's been a little uneasy.
James will keep it. Look at him go. First down, James Brown. He needs a couple of plays like that. Remember, he's just a freshman. Get his confidence back, and you see the confidence slipping here in the second half.
Yeah, a little bit. He's been a little hesitant with his throws. He's not on the money. I say get the ball in his hands a little bit. Let him run with the football and use his athletic ability to get his confidence back.
Second half, only 94 yards total offense for the Longhorns, and they just picked up 12 yards on that play. Brown looks right, now left, and almost intercepted. It's Eddie Mason on the coverage of Pat Fitzgerald.
He showed great patience on the play, and he had him beat, but the ball was poorly underthrown. He tried to throw a little touch pass and lay it out in front of him and let him go get it. The wind's blowing the ball all over the place. I think he did try to throw a touch pass, and the wind's blowing the ball and swirling, and may have knocked it down for him.
And Eddie Mason's had a couple of stabs at other interceptions. Yeah, he had one, and he could have had a couple of others. But good coverage on that play. Second down and 10. Jones in the face of Brown, who gets it away to Fitzgerald and rumbles inside of the 40. Fumbled on the back end of it, but they rule him down at the 39. 18 yards.
Good job by Marcus Jones staying home for the bootleg, but these are the type plays that James Brown really doesn't have to do a lot of reading. He can just be an athlete. Comes out, he's one-on-one with Marcus Jones, puts a little move on him, gets rid of the football, and delivers it on the money.
So quick flurry here by the Longhorns. And they have it first down at the 39. little mix-up, but Brown gets untangled and takes off. And has a first down at the 29.
The flag.
They got a late hit over there.
I don't agree with that one.
Buzzy Lee was on the sideline, and Texas will get an extra.
But that's the James Brown we've seen over the last few weeks. Something happens in the backfield, there's a mix-up, they collide, and he just becomes an athlete, becomes instinctive.
Dead ball, personal foul, half the distance to the goal, first down.
It'll net about 14 more yards on the back end of this play.
It's a bootleg all the way, but the pass of the quarterback and the back collide, and he's looking to run all the way now. And watch his quick feet. Still like him to tuck the ball away a little bit.
Brown with 43 yards rushing.
He gives him a little two-hand shove. I don't know. His feet are definitely, he's just leaving the field of play. He hasn't even touched out of bounds yet. And Fuzzy Lee gives him a little shove. Nothing wrong with that.
Texas inside of the 15 with 8 minutes remaining. Priest Holmes for 5. Fuzzy Lee makes the play on this one for North Carolina. 5-yard gain, though, for Holmes.
Fuzzy Lee, number 47 on the stop. 2nd and 5.
Still have half this quarter remaining, and Texas 10 yards away from getting right back into it.
Come on, big play, big play, big play, big play. Go, Phillips.
Look to get James Brown on the move.
Holmes. That should be good enough for a first down at the 4-yard line.
Number 57, Harry Fox.
First and goal.
Now they're in a power football situation, down first and goal inside the 5.
What's going to happen here, Doug?
Personally, I would put James Brown on the move in some way. If you believe in your running attack, you can hammer the ball, but that's not their forte. Their forte is putting the ball in number 5's hands.
He's come back and directed a fine drive on this one. Fumbled on the exchange. Flag down. Carolina's recovered.
It was blown dead.
Yeah, they're blowing it dead.
Blew the whistle. Hold it, man. It blew the whistle. No, ain't no waiting.
It's a penalty flag there.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. There was no play. For his first down with a 5-yard penalty.
It looked to me like the ball was snapped late. The offensive line moved, the quarterback moved, everyone's starting to jump, and the ball's not up yet. So the play is blown dead. Now they're out around the 8-yard line. Now they definitely, James becomes a factor. Do you move him around? Do you try to slide out of the pocket and make something, maybe a quarterback draw?
Under 7 minutes to go. Call it from the 9, first and goal. Looking left, Brown, ball tipped in the end zone, still almost caught. Steve Bradley was reaching up for it for Texas.
He had a passing where he had a receiver with an opportunity to be open, and he delivered the football, and it's batted at the line of scrimmage. Those are things that you just can't control. He's running the slant route up top. There's a lane right there, but the ball's batted and tipped. North Carolina has batted and tipped more passes this year. The 2 defensive ends are up around 6'6". They get their hands up.
Rick Terry got his hands on that one for the 2nd time in this half. 2nd and goal from the 9. Priest Holmes breaks some tackles. What a run. Priest Holmes, touchdown, Longhorns.
Great job getting the ball in the end zone.
Priest Holmes, 3rd touchdown of the day.
He's getting more than his share of work today. I guess he doesn't have to save anything for after this ball game. Then it's the counter steps. Back out the backside. He steps out of a couple of tackles. Just very quick feet. He's got 21 carries for 129 yards. His 3rd touchdown of the day.
Dawson's extra point. It's a field goal game now, folks. 6:35 remaining. Texas right back in it. Carolina 31. Texas 28.
There you go. Say it again. Yeah, go ahead. Hello to DeAndre. That's my son. I love you, Mom and Dad. Hey, Mom, what's up?
Priest Holmes celebrating a 3rd touchdown of the day.
A couple of missed blocks, and this is a lot of Priest Holmes. Mock and Morton both had opportunities, couldn't quite get to him, and he's just sprinting through the end zone.
Carolina watching the play unfold.
They know they're in a ball game. Texas isn't going to go away.
Number 4.
6:35 remaining in the game. 8-play drive covering 68 yards. Marcus Wall is deep, but there has not been a kick anywhere close to the goal line in this direction today. One out of bounds.
Boston's kick goes out of bounds.
We talked to North Carolina this week, and it's a program still, though, fighting for a lot of respect. They feel underappreciated, and they said here we've been treated just with a gold treatment here, but it's really like a home game for Texas, they felt. And after all, we've been to 3 straight bowl games, and everyone here is talking about the Longhorns.
Exactly. 3 straight bowl games, top 20 ratings. They're the ranked team. They're the team with an opportunity to move towards the top 10, the top echelon of college football. They want a little respect.
College football, the kick out of bounds is brought back to the 35, so Carolina starts from there, and a big hit for a loss by Tony Brackens. Leon Johnson loses a yard.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Well, what do stats mean? Because we've got one for you, Doug. Texas, when it scores 25 or more points, 364-5.
Well, usually when you score a lot of points, you're winning. But 25 points is obviously a mark that's important. Another reverse.
It goes to Wall. And Wall bumped out of bounds by Joey Ellis. What a hit. That got him fired up on the Texas side.
Joey Ellis just had a leg cramp when he got injured there earlier. He's back in the ball game, and he is a hitter.
3rd and 10.
Watch that. He sticks him pretty good. Marcus stays on his feet a little there, but he knows he was popped.
3rd down and 10 with 5:51 remaining. Thomas hit when he threw it, and North Carolina will have to punt the football.
We have a flag on the play. Looks like defensive holding in the secondary. The 2 receivers for North Carolina kind of collided. Octavius Barnes was trying to work over the middle of the field and getting pulled down.
Octavius Barnes celebrating. Just when the Texas defense thought that they had stopped them and returned the football to the offense, now they wait.
Tajee Allen was in coverage on Marcus. The 2 receivers had poor releases. The play didn't really have a chance from the outset. But on the bottom of the screen here, right here, Tajee Allen jamming on Octavius Barnes. They collide, maybe even a pick play.
Now they pick the flag up and they say no penalty. No penalty on this play.
I don't know. He kept his body in front of him the whole time, and it was a legitimate jam, but he was grabbing the jersey. Possibly should have been called.
So they pick up the flag with 5:47 remaining football. All 3 timeouts remaining for both teams. Chris Carter, fair catch at the 31.
34 yards on the kick.
Well, we talked about the importance of this game, and Mack Brown's been preaching it all week. Here's what he had to say about this Sun Bowl for his Heels.
I've been a guy who's taken over programs that were in bad shape and helped them get better. So for the first time in my career, after 7 years, I'm one of those guys now that's trying to take one to a different level. We've never been there before. And it's a great challenge for me. It's very exciting for me. And to be able to do it with nice kids that are graduating above 85% makes it even more fun at our school.
Brown to Holmes. And look at Holmes. All Priest Holmes for a first down at the 43.
He set up the middle screen there. Rick Terry, number 94, saw it coming and was in position to make a play. But Priest Holmes, in his quick feet, just makes him miss and gets away from him. In the middle of the screen there, you see 94 pull off and chase, but he recognized it early but didn't get there. Priest Holmes with a great effort.
We've received word now from the sideline that flag that was picked up, the officials picked up the flag because they said the ball was not catchable. So just to clarify that, first down Texas from the 44. Holmes, a hot back, and wrestled down after a gain of about 4.
That ball wasn't catchable because the receiver didn't have an opportunity to get open. It should have been defensive holding, not necessarily pass interference.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Carolina clinging to a 3-point lead.
With wind conditions the way they are, field goals are not going to be easy.
Rod Walker in the backfield, along with Holmes on 2nd and 5. Brown looking downfield, all kinds of time. Now a touch pass over the head of Holmes. Doug Flutie up here in the booth jumping around because you see the field as a quarterback. What was open there?
He did a great job of hanging on to the football. He really didn't have much to see downfield, but he does have an opportunity at the last second. The back reacts nicely and turns it up the field. Watch up here on this part of the screen. Coverage is good downfield, but he's going to wheel it up the sideline. And all it takes is a little touch pass, but in the windy conditions, the ball's blowing all over the place. And anytime he's tried to put a little touch on the ball, it's been inaccurate.
Well, he's dropping back to a shotgun formation now on 3rd and 5. Brown dancing around, now throws for Eric Jackson and a flag.
We have 2 flags on the play, one down the bottom here, too.
Fuzzy Lee was defending Eric Jackson. This is going against North Carolina.
Looked like Fuzzy did a good job of getting up and over in his hand in there to make the play.
On the defense, automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
He came over his back. The question is, was he making contact or did he reach around and make a nice play? He's hitting him. The right arm kind of on the right shoulder. That should be a flag right there on its own.
Texas at the 43 of the Tar Heels.
Eric Jackson kind of getting in the face there.
4:19 remaining. Priest Holmes gets outside and brought down at the 38.
Does he look like he's running with more confidence now or what?
Oh, every play he's breaking 2 or 3 tackles. 139 yards rushing for Priest Holmes.
It's a 6-yard average for Priest Holmes per carry.
Second and 5. Brown looks right, pump fake, now open left side. Fitzgerald has it. but he's a yard short of the first. That ball was actually tipped by Oscar Sturgis at the line of scrimmage.
He was originally hoping to throw that out and up off the pump fake. He goes with the big pump fake, but it's a too deep coverage, so there is a safety on that side of the field helping out. He looks backside, tries to put a little touch. It's batted again. Fitzgerald with another catch.
3rd down and 1 with 3 minutes remaining.
Watch the tip. Good extension. He's 6'6". They get their hands on a lot of balls.
Big play here. Texas. Holmes has the first down at the 28. Stop the clock with the first down. 2:56 to go in this game. Texas trails by a field goal.
Both John Elmore and Steve Bradley with nice blocks on the play.
First down from the 28. Again, all kinds of time. Across the middle, has his target, Eric Jackson, for the first time today. Sean Boyd brought him down from behind.
Sean Boyd was sitting on, closing and trying to get there. Just a fraction of a second late.
12-yard gain on this one.
Eric Jackson actually could have helped him out if he continued coming back. He stops, he's waiting for the ball. Boyd just can't get there in time.
First down, 2:15 remaining in the game. Priest Holmes. Straight ahead, Holmes to the 7.
33, Priest Holmes, the ball carrier.
That's his 25th carry of the day. The most he's ever carried the ball was 29 times versus Louisville in the second game of the year. He has 25 carries now for 154 yards.
And 3 touchdowns. A timeout. No, they've got a measurement. An official timeout.
Speaking of timeouts, North Carolina has to start thinking about it. What do they want to do? If they, at worst case scenario, Texas could kick a field goal and tie the ball game. Do they want to be using their timeouts, save some time on the clock, and have an opportunity to come back and win this game? Either way, Texas should either get a touchdown or a field goal, and North Carolina's going to want to save some time on the clock.
It'll be second and a foot for the Longhorns, and the clock put back into motion. Under 150 remaining. Holmes, first down.
What do you think? Time for a bootleg off that look?
Well, they got 4 downs from the 5-yard line now for Texas with 1:33 remaining.
I say you got to start using your timeouts on defense here if you're North Carolina. There's a minute 33. You can still get the ball back with a minute to go. They're letting the clock run. If they score a touchdown on the first play, there's 15 extra seconds they wasted.
10th play of this drive. The pitch. Holmes leaps. What a play. Touchdown, Texas. A leap of faith, and the Longhorns have regained the lead. Priest Holmes gives Texas the lead, 34-31. He has tied the Sun Bowl record with 4 touchdowns, tying Thurman Thomas of Oklahoma State. .117 remaining. Don't count out Carolina yet. 35-31 Longhorns.
Number 32, Juan Kemp with the lead block on the play. He's the fullback, gets a good jump, gets into the linebacker. Priest Holmes just launches himself up and into the end zone. Over Eric Thomas, number 38. Eric's breaking down to make the play. We'll see that from behind here. Eric will come up. He's starting to break down, wants to make the tackle. And there goes Priest up and over. He's going to take off from the 5-yard line. That's at least 15 feet in the air. Or in length, not necessarily in the air.
Texas coming back from 10 down in the fourth quarter. Behind this man. This Priest is not having a good Friday. He's having a great Friday.
Well, North Carolina is going to have a minute 17 on the clock as of right now. Mike Thomas is 20 of 29, 261 and 2 touchdowns, and he's got his work cut out for him. They have all 3 timeouts remaining.
And remember, he drove them right before the half without benefit of any timeouts. Carolina will have to drive 80 yards to win this football game. Well, Carolina trailed at one time 21-10, then scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to go up 31-21. Now Texas bounces back with 2 unanswered touchdowns to take this lead.
Priest Holmes, 27 carries, 161 yards. That's 6 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns.
Thomas and the Tar Heels. That pass intended for Leon Johnson. The official got a little bit in the way of that one.
Yeah, I think he disrupted his concentration and he didn't see the ball long enough. Leon Johnson has excellent hands. That's his second drop of the day.
1:13 on the clock.
When you're looking in this situation, I like to go upfield with the ball at least 8 to 10 yards so you can pick up first downs if you complete the pass. That way all you have to do is go 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 to keep the chains moving.
Thomas to Octavius Barnes. Chris Carter popped him from behind. He wanted an incompletion.
But he did make the first down. The clock stops with a minute 6, and they're up and over the ball. Get your play called before they start the clock.
So the catch at the 30 gives them a first down. Johnson again can't handle it, although there were 2 Longhorns waiting for him.
That was a tough one to handle. That one was a little high and had a little zip on the ball there. And when you're on a swing route like that, it's very difficult if the ball is not right on the money. Again, though, I'd rather see him just take some nice, safe throws, maybe 8 to 10 yard throws over the middle of the ball. You still have all 3 timeouts.
59 seconds. Open man, Barnes at the 46. Knocked right down by Westbrook. Thomas at first looking to the sideline. Do we want a timeout? They say, hold on a minute.
Well, they've got the first down. The clock stopped. There's no need to call the timeout as long as you can line up quickly.
They won't start it until the chains are in position.
He's only wasting 2 or 3 seconds there, so it's not too bad.
Thomas again uses the middle, and holding on is Barnes.
Unbelievable.
At the Texas 43.
3 consecutive catches by Barnes in traffic, taking big hits and hanging on to the football.
And hang on, folks. North Carolina has moved the football to the Texas 43 and have called timeout. Coming down to the last seconds here in El Paso.
Hair. In 5 minutes, rinse. Your mustache or beard blends with your natural hair color, and it won't fade or wash out.
Now, that's a lot better.
Just for Men Color Gel from the leader in men's hair coloring.
So first down, North. Back in El Paso, first down, North Carolina. From the Texas 43.
All 3 timeouts remaining. Probably just use it if you come up short of a first down.
Thomas over the top, hit when he threw it, intercepted by Carter. Chris Carter of the Longhorns.
He could get stripped from behind. Ball's loose.
Carolina has it back. You couldn't see that one coming. They lose 50 yards on the play, but they're still in the game.
They still have the opportunity. Let's see if they can go 86 yards in 29 seconds now.
All he had to do was fall, and Texas had the win.
Ice the win. You've got the ball in your hands. He's got big eyes. The ball, his arm was hit. It's an easy interception. Now get upfield a little bit. Now drop. Just go down.
Right here in this area.
He thinks he's gone.
You said right here the ball's going to get stripped. You saw it coming.
Ashford from behind, hustling to make the play.
On the run back, there was a clip, which is declined. Carolina ball, first down.
Well, they made a first down on the play.
Yeah, they lost.
Watch Thomas. Boom. Hits his arm, and the ball's fluttering. Brian Bassett with the big pressure.
Well, Carolina loses 43 yards on the play and picks up a first down. But for them, it's a huge break. They're still in the game. They still have life.
North Carolina has 2 timeouts remaining. They can get maybe 4 to 5 plays in. He's pumping it and going deep.
Looking for Barnes. And just past his fingertips. 3 defenders back there. 23 seconds remaining.
Now you'd like to have a guy like the Bell Pinckney that you can just throw the ball up for. I guess Barnes is the guy that's been making the plays, so when you're throwing it up for grabs, he's got to be the guy to go after.
Barnes has been making the plays. 9 catches in this game for Octavius Barnes, and a Sun Bowl record 165 yards receiving. Breaking the mark from 1942 of Saxon Judd of Tulsa.
With 23 seconds left, all you can hope for is to get out near midfield to have one last crack at throwing one for the end zone.
Thomas with pressure goes short and incomplete. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. Thomas Baskin got a hand on it. 18 seconds remaining.
Well, as long as they pick up a first down somewhere in here, we probably have 3. If you're lucky, you might get a 4th play in.
It's been a year where we saw one miracle ending with Colorado defeating Michigan, and I've got a man in the booth who knows how to pull this type of game out.
He's got to make an effort to get at least past his own 40-yard line before the last play of the game. All kinds of time. This one's up for grabs. No.
And out of bounds. 11 seconds. And 4th down, in fact, for North Carolina coming up. Thomas just shy of 300 yards passing today. He's had an outstanding afternoon.
Just an exceptional day for Mike. And here, even though it's 4th down, you don't worry about the first down. I think you throw some sort of Hail Mary pass to get it out near midfield. Call your timeout and try it one more time. Just put you guys together, send them downfield, and get it out near midfield, if you're lucky.
Thomas airing it out toward midfield. Only Texas there. And the ball is ruled incomplete. Westbrook almost had the interception. Texas is going to win the 1994 Sun Bowl. There still is time for one more snap for Texas just to make it official. The team was already out on the field, but
the play of the game has to be Brian Bassett when North Carolina was driving the ball there came back, hit the quarterback. The ball fluttered in the air, and it was an easy interception for Chris Carter. Or the play of the fourth quarter as far as the last drive was concerned.
There were some electrifying plays today. We had a punt return for a touchdown. The defense scored some long passes for scores. 4 rushing touchdowns, tying the bowl record. And Texas finishes the 1994 season 8-4. One of the most exciting Sun Bowl games in its proud 61-year history.
Good game played.
Once again, the Sun Bowl record crowd was 50,612. The Sun Bowl Association, the University of Texas, and the University of North Carolina. Thank you. Drive safely on your way home, and Happy New Year.
You remember after Wall ran one back, they were warning everyone on that sideline. Let's not forget about the Duke game.
It's never over. And James Brown did a great job of recovering and coming back, but it was Priest Holmes that did the bulk of the work. Both offenses took off the third quarter, but they got their act back together in the fourth.
They say hook 'em horns here. Texas, the winner in El Paso.
Hey, you all right, man? You all right, baby boy? Hey, man, get that thing right, man.
Here at the Sun Bowl, the final score is Texas 35, North Carolina 31. Well, we said at the start of this day that the eyes of Texas are upon John Mackovic. And what does this win mean to his program?
It's the step in the right direction that he was hoping for. They're looking to get back to the top echelon of college football and put Texas football back where it used to be. Number 32, Ron Kemp on the lead block. Priest Holmes launching himself from the 5-yard line up and over. The winning touchdown in the ballgame. Another look from behind. Sean Boyd thinks he has him in his sights, stepping up into the hole, number 38. And there goes Priest up and over.
From 10 down in the fourth quarter, victory for John Mackovic and the Texas Longhorns. They still, though, even after the Holmes touchdown, they still had to fight off North Carolina's drive. And the interception off the tip to Chris Carter. Even though Carolina got the ball back one more time after the fumble on the back end of that play, that was a killer for Carolina at that point.
What a great game.
Proving to be a reality in the dream of David Stern. 119-78, 15 seconds to go in this ball game.
Getting a good shot, so I had to slow.